to you from the Radio for One studios in Franklin, Michigan. Welcome to the Detroit Cast.
Big fan.
A show not just free of charge, but free of FCC regulations.
Thank you for your support of the Detroit Cast.
Oh, there it is.
And without further delay, it's showtime. Please welcome the Detroit Cast. Here are your hosts, Mike and Jay.
My eyes are watering. Woo. All right, everybody. Welcome to the Detroit Cast. Mike and Jay. Big E, of course, is here. Kadog, an asshole, but here. We have a full house tonight, Jay.
Full house indeed.
Yes. Beers are going. I feel like it's the drunk show part 2.
Got a couple of Busch Light drafts already.
Yeah.
Who knows what could happen next?
I know. That salt hit me sideways, too. I got to be honest with you.
You ready?
Someone break it open or something? I can smell it.
Can you really?
Yes.
Wasn't us. How are you, friend? How was your weekend?
I'm well. Thank you for having me. My weekend was spectacular.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do anything exciting?
Well, Mike, I always have exciting weekends. A lot of soccer again. I'm like in the heart of it, right? So Saturday was just filled with soccer stuff.
Yeah.
Sunday I got on the ice a little bit with Sweet Pie.
On the ice?
On the ice, yeah.
What did you do?
Skating around.
Really?
Yeah.
And?
She's all right.
I didn't even know you had skates.
Come on, man.
Why would I think that? I've never known you to ice skate.
I don't know. I mean, most people ice skate. No, E.
Yeah, I have
Yeah.
some. I mean, I don't use them. I haven't used them in a
I
long
wouldn't
time.
call myself like a stellar skater, but sure.
Well, that sounds like
You don't have
fun.
ice skates, Mike?
No.
Kadog skates?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You do, really?
Yeah. I have multiple pairs.
Well, you're Canadian. That doesn't count, of course. I think you guys get birth to those.
Depends on if
Pretty
he's
much.
speed skating or hockey, right?
Yeah. Sometimes
Figure.
you need the toe picks if you're going to do a triple SoCal. And
Right.
sometimes you just need the flat blades.
Depends on what he's out for.
I could see E wearing like his sister's old pair.
I had some
Some
really
round
nice
ones.
ones actually at one point. I don't
Did
know
you?
why, because I was never a skater and never played. But
Some white ones with pom-poms.
Yeah.
Pom-poms.
Yeah, pink
no, that was
laces.
not yet. Back in my early day, I didn't embrace my love of purple and pink and stuff until after high school.
Yeah.
I was ashamed of it.
How was your weekend?
Great.
Yeah.
Anything to report?
Well, we noticed as soon as he walked in the door, Jay was first to go, wow, you washed the plume.
Yeah.
Well, we figured maybe it was because we had guests coming,
No,
which
I
would have
don't
been
give a
nice, but it had nothing to do with them.
shit. No, I don't give a shit about them. But
Yeah.
No, I went to some people. I put it on Facebook, so probably most people don't know. But I went to another paint party this weekend, and I got drenched in paint at this one. Like it was not even close to the previous ones I've been to.
Yeah.
Like to the point where I could not have, if I walked in here showered, it would have been very obvious.
You would have just paint everywhere still?
Yeah, my arms and stuff.
Are they still?
No, I don't think so. I think I got it.
dude. What's the demographic like at these things?
16 to
Yeah.
20 and then
18 to 18. This one was 18 and up, but there are ones that are 16 and up. But this one was 18. I would say 18 to 22,
Yeah.
maybe 21.
Anybody call you dad?
No.
Or narc.
I'll say this. Here's
Who
what I'll
brought
say.
the narc?
Here's what I'll say about it. I'll say that once the show gets going, it's all about the music, man, or whatever, and it doesn't matter. But you're just feeling the vibes and the
Right,
bass. But
sure. Soul.
exactly, man. But
Wait, what was that?
under the electric sky. We're all under the electric sky and shit. But
Oh, you're such a dork.
but
You're a dork.
but dude, I'm falling more and more in love with EDM music and festivals. Like it's actually, I mentioned to one of our listeners today. She asked about NASCAR, and I said I don't watch, and she said I know you, and I said no, I don't even think I'm going this year. And she said you're not going to even go. It's fun to go, and I think I'm making a decision to cut the NASCAR weekends out completely and replace them with EDM festivals.
You can't do both.
I'm not. The problem is the one is at the end of September, and I always go away for Labor Day, and I also go away for and if I'm going to go away for this, I'm just not willing to spend that money on the NASCAR weekend. Take a day off of work, yada yada. So yeah, it's completely wiped out NASCAR.
Yeah.
But as far as you're right, I will say the only time I felt old, I didn't once you got in there, it didn't bother me. But how it was is like you had to wait in line outside, you know, because they really hardcore actually like shocked everybody. Like good, it was like you're going through the friggin' airport. It was literally take your shoes off.
Wow.
You were only allowed to bring in a wallet, keys, and a phone. You could not have anything else.
Did you
with
leave
you.
with any of those items?
I left with everything. I didn't bring my phone.
Oh, okay.
Well, I actually didn't bring my phone in. I was smart enough to know myself not to bring my phone even in.
Yeah.
Plus, I knew I was going to get drenched with paint.
Yeah.
Well, no,
it's brand new, you know.
Also, at the last,
never heard what happened to the last one,
right?
But whatever.
Well, at the last foam paint party I went at, I also busted a phone due to the foam. But so I left that in. But when I was standing, the point is that you're standing in line, and
sorry.
You're standing in line and there's this huge line to get in.
Yeah.
And that's when I was like, I said to the friend I was with, I was like, you know, I know when I'm in there, I don't really care. And it doesn't really bother me, but I was looking around, I'm like, fuck, I feel fucking old standing in this line.
You are.
Because there's like,
you feel
most of them were
old.
18 and 19 and 20 for sure.
Who's with you? TCG?
No, a lady friend.
Wow.
You brought a chick. How old was the chick you brought?
She's 25.
25. Okay, so she barely fits in.
I know. She's probably on the verge.
So what do you do?
But...
Do you grind on her all night? Do you pick some guy in the crowd to grind on? Like, what do you do with that? Do you dance by yourself in a circle looking like a weird old guy?
Hands above your head.
Well, no, with the music, it's a little weird. It's not quite hip hop. No, yes, your hands are above your head, Jay, but it's more like fist pumping. It's more like
you just there you go. There you go.
Yeah, looks good. Very coordinated.
It looks horrible when you look at it in real, but that's what everyone does, though. That's what everyone
out of
kind
context. No, I agree.
We need to send a cameraman with him to one of these things and just get isolated video, just an isolated track of just E going to town at one of these things.
This is the only place, and I do this completely sober. They didn't even sell alcohol, and I didn't drink before. I was completely sober. Now my friend was, I think, maybe on some stuff possibly, but I wasn't. But and
like drugs or alcohol,
maybe
Molly,
some drugs, maybe some drugs.
Yeah, wow.
But
knocked her out. All right, whatever.
Whatever. What are you gonna do?
Yeah,
I didn't say her name, so
yeah,
you're about to.
No, and then anyone that went on my Facebook would know who I went with.
Keep him talking. He'll spell it.
But I can do. I don't know.
What was she on? I mean, what do you take on one of those things like Molly?
That would be the popular drug, which I saw several young kids who obviously probably haven't done it before or couldn't handle it get dragged out. But
really,
yeah. Not dragged out, but
you on a gummy bear.
Yes, like that. Yes, you're right.
I forgot about that.
Like, this is, I will say, like, the thing about this is as I've learned to love about it more and more every time I go, is that it's, I don't know, dude. I just like kind of go with the music. I just kind of like sit there and like, I don't know.
So if we crank some up in the studio, I mean, keep your headphones on, shut your eyes. We can even dim the lights. Will you give us an example, a quick show and tell?
I could do it here.
Find some EDM music,
I don't know if I could do
Let's
it here.
dim the lights and just close your eyes. Pretend we're not here, or pretend we're on your team and we're dancing too.
Pretend there's foam all about you.
Well, you got to make sure.
We'll throw beers in your face.
If you're gonna
make it feel real.
If you're gonna pick some random one, you got to make sure you're by a drop, like the beat drop. That's the best part. This isn't.
There you go.
You got to go with some real high bass shit.
Oh, he's getting picky about his EDM.
Where's it? See when that starts picking up right there, it's like,
get up, let's go.
I'm not, just like, that's how I do it. This is how I do it. I sit here like this. You're just like, you kind of like. Yeah, it's like fucking.
Go! Get that shirt off, man. It's getting hot in here.
Dude, but it doesn't look as dumb when there's 4,000 people.
No, it most certainly does.
Okay,
maybe just as dumb, no matter who's in the
Maybe
group.
It looks as dumb, but it doesn't feel as dumb. You don't feel dumb when everybody's just fucking like.
When in Rome.
That's right. That's why I can't wait to send him to the San Francisco Jazz, because when in Rome will apply when he lands in San Francisco.
I do tend to roll with the flow at usually places that I go, but I don't know, man.
No, you look cooler than I thought you would. Actually, that was pretty impressive.
Whatever, I don't care. I know you don't think that, but it's all right.
Well, you wouldn't even stand up. You look like you're in a wheelchair.
I'm not going to
doing the
stand
EDM
up.
dance.
I like the little thing you did before your hands went up.
What was that?
That's just when
Is that you at the mixing table?
I don't know. Like, I just like it when that.
It looks
I don't know the words.
Doesn't it?
I don't know enough
bit.
about the words. But when the beat really starts like that kind of, and I tend to like kind of I just kind of do that, and then that is the funnest part when that thing like builds up and it just stops, and then it just boom and it kicks in and everybody just
on.
Yeah.
I mean, you
paint
felt
and
it,
shit
Mike.
shoots out.
I felt it.
I actually kind of felt it. It was
Yeah.
sweet. It was sweet.
Whatever, man. But
Was that Saturday night?
Saturday night, but it was a blast, and
Nice.
it was after that I decided like
Where was it?
Lansing.
Mm.
I decided, dude, I think that this is taking over for my NASCAR. This is going to be my new NASCAR. And
Because you're too busy to do both, right?
I don't have enough time. I don't have enough money to do both. These EDM things are very expensive, unfortunately, but so I don't have enough money to do both. If I got to the point where I could take every weekend off, then yes, I would go to NASCAR still, but I'm not at that point. Maybe in August,
Yeah.
I'll be making enough money that I don't need to work Saturdays.
And your
but right now,
stand-up schedule's still good.
yes.
You got another one in last week, right?
Yeah, I got 2 last week, and
Very
then
nice.
got another 2 lined up this week in Lansing.
And those are on the website, right?
Yes, they are. I'm going to start updating that regularly. I think we mentioned that, but I'm going to start updating that regularly. But you know, it is what it is, man. I really have found I didn't do it to. I don't know. I just started enjoying it, and now I enjoy it more and more. And I'll get as much out of this out of weekend at these things than I do at NASCAR, if not better. It's a camaraderie. I can't say that.
No, you
word.
got it.
That's right. Yeah, you
But
got
it's a
this
feeling of like everybody just melting
No, what was
together.
that?
Camaraderie.
Right.
I don't know.
No,
whatever.
shit. Camaraderie.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sure. I
Jesus
know that's
Christ.
fucking pronounced wrong. I don't care.
No, you got it.
but
Camaraderie.
it's like better. I don't know. I think it's gonna be better. But
You can't look at them. Try not to laugh. You can laugh. It's okay.
Yeah, by the way,
Like holding their faces.
we've got
Yes, he
state-
said camaraderie. You can laugh at that. That's hilarious.
to introduce our guests for a moment here. We've got Stacy, Marie, Laura, Kevin, and Keith.
How did you
Thanks
do
for coming
that?
in. Well, you know, a list.
No, that's not true because
pen and
when they
paper.
walked in, you pointed them all out and named them all. You didn't have a list.
Hmm.
You
I don't know.
didn't.
maybe just made them up.
Yeah, maybe I just memorized 5 names.
Maybe. They're people that help and donate to the show. So
Yeah,
we're
thanks,
always welcome.
guys.
Thank you
Thanks
guys
so
so much. Welcome aboard. There's a pilot in the house. And you guys have been to other events too of ours. I think you were at one. Some of you guys were at Big E's comedy
Really?
thing.
I don't recognize
You were
any
there?
of them.
Yeah, definitely.
But thanks for coming out.
Massey, They were at Massey, too.
Massey, yep.
Wow.
So big supporters.
Crazy.
So welcome you guys.
Hey,
What?
I want to say something other about my weekend real quick. Just that personally, I don't know if you'll be happy with this, but I found out this weekend that somebody I started doing comedy with. I kind of texted you about this, but someone I started doing comedy
Yeah, we
with.
should talk to him.
Okay. I'll try to get him. He's in.
As the crow flies.
But anyway, somebody I literally started doing comedy with way back in the Drew and Mike days. It took some 17-year-old kid back then, took the comedy class with me, and he was always funny, always funnier than me, probably funnier to me on day one than I am now. Well, whatever. No, I'm talking 5 years in. Anyway, found out that this week he's going to be on freaking Conan.
Wow.
Oof.
So that's interesting. You both started at
I
the
know.
same point.
Yeah, and you're doing
kinda-
an open mic in Westland or something.
Yeah,
That's
and
pretty
yeah.
cool. Conan, open mic in
Trajectory
Westland.
is amazing.
Hey,
It's-
you know what?
It's like
No, it's not.
maybe
You're
almost
right.
straight up for him.
Yeah.
kinda-
Well, for one, he
one's
was
flatlined or dipping down,
Yeah,
and the
well,
other one's
it's,
just
maybe a
skyrocket.
5 degree.
It's
We'll give him a
weird.
5 degree.
5, sure. Which down or up?
Well,
Yeah, I
it's-
could just not
it's 5
mention
degree
it.
up, I'd say, given his commitment this
You
year.
brought it up. We were going somewhere completely
No,
different,
no, I
and then
know.
you brought up
Then we
the
got
start.
89 to 90.
No, you're right. I agree with you. Dude, this dude, just like anything.
What's
though,
his name?
Brad Wenzel. And,
Brad Wenzel.
And
Okay.
just like anything, though, dude, some people are just good from the beginning, man. And this kid was just from the get-go was freaking funny. And he's been doing a lot of good comedy in the last few years. Been, winning competitions, been at
How old
festivals
is he
and
now?
stuff. God, he was about, I believe, 17 when we started. I know he wasn't 18 yet. So he's probably 22 to 23.
Wow.
And
He's on Conan on Wednesday.
yeah, he
Good
won
for
a
him.
contest. He won a contest. It was a contest that was like get on Conan, but there was a vote based to a certain level. The vote base got you to, I think, to a top 10, some level of that, maybe a top 5. I'm not sure. But from there, Ricky Gervais was one of the judges.
Who?
Ricky Gervais.
Gervais.
Whatever.
All right.
Whatever. Who gives a fuck?
No, all right. Ricky
But
Gervais.
Ricky Gervais was one of the judges. I don't exactly know how it went down. I'd have to ask. I haven't talked to him
That's
completely about it. But it was. I'm really excited. I just wanted. I don't know. I wanted people to know that dude.
Will he
this
still
dude-
take your calls now?
I was messaging him on Friday about it.
That's awesome.
So I just wanted people to know around here, honestly, that it's a cool story from someone I know personally that's from Michigan, and he's somebody that's still out. I mean, he's doing Max's bar. I'm doing Max's tomorrow. He did Max's like 2 weeks ago. So
Yeah.
he's still somebody that you can definitely
go see while he's still
while he's not too
well
big
known.
yet.
Yeah,
Very cool. And I have one more thought before you move on to the show. I thought of something over the weekend. I got to thinking, I'm thinking the Detroit cast needs to do more charitable stuff.
Yeah.
More, right? I mean, we
suppose more is anything is better than zero,
right?
If I gave $1 right now, that'd be more.
I think we're to the point where we need to commit to do something, Mike. You know, we
so you want to up our charitable foundation?
Yes, I think we need to. So I got to thinking, what can we do? We could
donate money.
No, we need to do something where we can collect pledges.
Yeah.
We need pledges, Mike. And so I got to thinking, what can we do collectively? What can we do as a group that would be fun? Detroit Free Press Marathon Relay.
Oh, come on.
Oh, yeah.
What does that mean? What do you mean? What does the relay
10 months
mean?
to train. We're doing it.
How much is that per person in a relay?
You'll do 8 miles. I'll do 8. You can have the 3 mile. Kadog 6.
Yeah, I'm good.
Oh,
for
so it doesn't.
Okay. Well, what happens?
Well, no. There's certain legs.
Okay.
I forget what they are, but it's like 8, 5, and I don't remember.
I got.
But anyway,
I'm not doing a 3-mile run. That's not going to happen. So what do we do? Where are we at? Can we not compete since I'm not running 3 miles at the Free Press?
I anticipated this answer, Mike.
Yeah.
And therefore, I asked my lovely wife Gabrielle if she would push you in a stroller for your leg. She said she would. All right.
Okay, wait a minute. There might be some legs to this. No pun intended. So she would do that?
Yeah, she said the one thing, you can't gain any more weight. You have to stop gaining weight.
Fuck. Whew. How long do we have? How long?
Just don't gain more weight until October.
It's in October, and this is month 1, and October is 10. So.
Okay, so 9 months from now.
Can you maintain your weight?
Yeah, so she can push a 400-pound guy in a basket for 3 miles. Is that the plan? She can. Will they let her do? Will she?
That's the thing is we may have to reclassify you.
Well, can I pass off as disabled for real?
Right. I think we're gonna have to literally classify you as some sort of retard. You know how the guy
guys that do that.
Yeah. Well, yeah. There's the hand cycle, but
wait a minute. So if we do this and they say, well, he's got to be unable to get himself. You realize you're gonna have to carry me to the chair to pull this off.
Yeah.
You're gonna have to carry
me you from the car.
Am I gonna have to stand there
Yes.
Am I gonna have to do the whole hand thing? This is awful. Straight to hell for this one. I'm gonna have to stand there like this and then talk.
Maybe we'll put a helmet on you.
Why would you have to talk funny? You could just be broken legs. It doesn't mean you're retarded mentally.
It's better if he's
the one that retarded me. I didn't start that. He did.
I started to look into it, and it's better if he has a palsy. I'm just telling you.
I'm trying to think. How would I?
Oh, for the charity, for the kids.
Well, yeah, we'll collect more, and we'll streamline the process of getting in the race.
You know what? That could possibly get national news too.
Dude, I can't pull that off for 3 miles. I'll feel like a monster. There's no way. People will see through me. All it takes is one guy to recognize me, and then the whole cover's blown, and then we're in the paper for a totally different story.
I'm picturing an adult-sized jogging stroller. Right?
One of those three-wheeled ones with the net on the side. So I'm in my own little racing cart.
Yes.
And Gab's pushing me.
She'll do it. I anticipated this answer, and she said she'd do it.
All right. I'll do it as long as...
So we'll pick a charity, and we'll start.
Can I play
pledges.
blind and just put shades on?
No.
I wouldn't feel so bad doing that. I don't know if going the palsy route is a great idea.
I think you just say his broken legs. I'm sorry.
They're not going to let him in the race like that, dude. There's so many people. They're not. It's going to have to be a special circumstance to get one of these strollers in the race. There you go.
There I am. I could imitate that guy, right?
Wear a horizontally striped shirt.
Oh, Jesus, dude.
And a helmet. You could do that, right?
I thought he was eating a cupcake. I was like, yeah, I could do that. Eat a cupcake while Gab's pushing me.
So that's the plan, gentlemen. You've got 10 months, 9
right.
months and counting. Got it?
I mean, I could run 8 miles tomorrow.
Okay.
Well,
it wouldn't be fast, but I could do it.
I might need a week to get up to 6 miles.
Okay.
My weekend was nice. We watched the game that was going on right before we started recording. The Cardinal game's going on now, but the Broncos are off to the Super Bowl.
Ugh.
Yeah.
You guys fired up for that?
I just
both those teams are.
I cheer for. I know.
Yeah, I was cheering for
New
Brady
England
too.
is my quote unquote second team. It's the team I root for. If the Lions, of course, are not in it, which they aren't again.
I thought New England was going to make a huge comeback too with 2 fourth down conversions from Brady to Gronk. Both of them were spectacular. Yeah. But yeah, they couldn't get the 2-point conversion in, and so it ends with what, 20-18?
Yeah,
I believe it was. So Denver onto the Super Bowl, and we'll see tomorrow. We'll know who.
And then we have a full week before the Super Bowl, right?
Yeah,
I hate that week.
Yeah,
the
that 2
Pro
weeks.
Bowl though, Jay. You have the Pro Bowl.
Oh, they
tied you
do.
over.
They do that now. That's right. They have that in
Tied you
between.
over.
What a stupid thing that is.
Why do they even
the Pro
play
Bowl?
it?
It's so dumb.
Well, half the guys duck out, right? Because they're just like,
yeah.
not
Why would
interested.
you go
I
to
know.
that? I mean, it's a check for 20 grand, 25 grand, or 50 grand to the winner. Who cares?
Right.
For those guys, who gives a shit? If you're an NFL Pro Bowler, what do you need 25 grand for?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Why risk the injury? There was the guy, I think he was a rookie or a second-year player who went to one of those at I think it was at the in Honolulu and played in a beach.
When
game.
they did the sand game.
They did a sand game, and the guy blew his fucking knee out and never played again.
Oh.
Absolutely torched his knee. And it's like, dude, what are you doing? Why would anyone do that if it's not like with that sport in particular? Like, why would you go out and even risk anything like that? I just don't get it.
All those all-star games suck, except baseball. Baseball's the closest one to a real game. Hockey blows.
Yeah, hockey
Basketball's
does blow.
ridiculous.
Yeah.
Just zero defense. Just
Baseball
dunk on one
matters
side, dunk
too.
on the other. Yeah.
Baseball matters
In a stupid way. I can't believe they do that.
Yeah, it is.
Home
But
field advantage for the World Series?
yeah.
That is ridiculous.
Yeah. But it does make you watch, and if your team's any good, you know, if you've got a team like the Tigers where they could be a contender every year, the last 10 years they've been a contender.
No, and it's definitely the closest thing to a real game. So it is
because you just can't
mildly
fake
interesting.
baseball. I mean, you have to get 3 outs.
That's
You
true.
have to throw the ball. Like, you can't toss it in because the inning can just keep going if you don't get an out.
Although the home run derby has just become ridiculously stupid.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Yeah, it was
I think
fun.
it's
I
been-
went to the one in Detroit when they had the All-Star game here. That was pretty fun.
I think the
But,
home run derby's been done for me for a few years.
Yeah.
Yeah, ever since they took roids out of the game. Now it's no fun anymore. It was fun back then.
I don't even think that.
Barry Bonds up there knocking 40 dingers. It was great.
No, but the Super Bowl, this week in between just blows.
Mm.
But why the hell don't they do Super Bowl on Saturday, man? They would have so much. They would have so much more committed people willing to party on that night.
Dude, the
right?
whole country watches, and they get fucked up too. What they should do is make it a national holiday on Monday.
Yeah.
That should be a national holiday that you get the Monday after the Super Bowl off. Then you'd gain support
I
from
like
the
how
whole
every
country.
year there's always a petition or something. There's always some dude that makes a petition up.
Dude, there's got to be one dumb shit holiday out there we can eliminate for the sake of from everybody. Get
Arbor Day. Yeah, screw Arbor Day.
Arbor Day.
Do that instead. Well, Miguel's just been placed inside the stroller by Kadog. Well done, Kadog.
Jesus Christ, Kadog. Make it bigger.
See, that's how he'd look.
That's not bad.
That could work.
So I just got to hold
Plus,
my
you got
hand.
that thing for your shade, so the sun won't
It's
be in
only
your eye.
3 miles, man.
Yeah,
And
I
Gavel,
think
what
I
would
could
be
make
like?
it. I
It's
think
like
I could be pushed for
That'll be
3
like
miles.
24, maybe
23
25
minute, yeah.
Right.
Dude, if Gab's up for giving it a try, I am too. I
She'll-
think I could make it 3 miles with Gab pushing me. I really do. I'm gonna have to work at it, but I think I could
What if
make it.
I think the goal should be that you should be able to do 3 miles by October on your own.
Yeah, no, we don't want to do that. My plantar fasciitis won't allow that. I'm an old man. I have old man diseases now. I can't do that anymore.
Is Jay older than you, or are you older than Jay?
I'm older than Jay by a few
Oh,
months. So.
oh, wow.
Yeah, so he'll probably have plantar fasciitis in a matter of months, and then we'll see.
Yeah, we got our,
Our moles, yeah, Jesus Christ. Which
keratosis.
side is mine on again?
Keratosis. Same as me, yeah.
Is it this one?
The liver spots came out prominently
I don't like
together
that.
in a strange
it's
way.
Terrible.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Total old man. Hey, Mike, are you ready to quit smoking once and for all?
I am.
Great Lakes Vapor is here to make that a reality. Their e-cigs are handmade and guaranteed for life. Check them out in person off Grand River in Brighton or off Orchard Lake in Farmington, or shop online at greatlakesvapor.com and have everything you need mailed right to your door. Greatlakesvapor.com is the best place to order refills of all GLV juice. Use the promo code DetroitCast. You'll get 10% off all online orders. Moreover, Miguel, Dot Ford is the official auto dealership of the Detroit Cast and Metro Detroit's leading lease pull-ahead authority. They specialize in getting you out of your current lease up to 12 months early, regardless of what you're driving now or how many miles you have on it. They'll assist in terminating your current lease with no penalties and hook you up with your new badass Ford. So dump your overpriced, over-mileage lease and let Zott Ford make your wildest dreams for 2016 come true. Check out their astonishing deals and massive inventory at zotford.com.
It's funny you mentioned GLV. I was out at a restaurant over the weekend, and Beth and I are sitting there, and all of a sudden someone starts with their vapor right behind us, and I was shocked to see just the smoke, because people usually get all shitty about that in a restaurant. And but it was almost closing. There was hardly anyone in there. And so I turned around and I'm like, and she's like, oh, sorry, is my vaping bothering you? I'm like, no, not at all. It's awesome. And so we get to talking. Turns out she's a customer of GLV. And I'm like, well, what's your favorite flavor? And she's like, oh, I love this one, the Detroit, the Detroit cast. And she's like, yeah, that's my favorite.
Did you ask her what it was?
Yeah, no, she didn't know what it was, but I gave her our business card, and so maybe we got a new listener or
Nice.
3. The chick she was with, yeah. So
I actually had a long conversation with a lady that I was driving home the other day. She asked me what I did, and I referenced this, and I'm like, I do something, blah blah blah. She's like, well, what do you mean you do this and then something else? And then
wait a minute? You're driving her home from Zotford. Why would she ask you what you do? Wouldn't she just assume this is what you do?
Well, she asked me like.
I wouldn't, honestly.
No, sometimes they ask me
young
like,
guy, you'd probably be like, so is this all you
go
do?
to college? They still ask, like, I still give people, sorry, you, because they'll ask me like, oh, do you know how? What is it? Oh, it came up that I didn't know anything about cars. She asked me about cars. I'm like, dude, honestly, I don't know nothing about cars. And she's like, oh, okay. Well, I didn't say dude. I mean, but and then so I was like, I kind of was just like, well, I do this, and then second job, from something else I do or whatever, and then I just. Finally, she asked, and then I ended up talking to her for about a half hour about it. So I don't know if she's listened or not, but I gave her a card too. So maybe she's a.
How old was she?
She was probably, I don't know, 30s to 40s. I guess.
Yeah, hot.
I have
put you on the spot.
Yeah, great looking.
We had a new listener for a second there.
She's listening. Welcome to the show.
I have a hard time saying ages because I realize now
she's
that
probably 24 and just living right.
There's no way she's 24, but
this guy thinks I'm in my 40s and hideous. Jesus Christ, fuck that guy.
I know. She seemed to be very interested in checking it out anyway. But yeah, you're right. I have a hard time when it comes to age. I realize now. Ty the other day was telling me about possibly dating. He's like, oh yeah, I might.
Yeah, you guys should.
Yeah, I agree. It's a long time coming.
No.
I mean, we've all seen the writing on the wall for years.
Yeah.
Now.
It's the elephant in the room. Just
no. He said like, oh yeah,
cut the cord. Let's go, man.
He said I might be. Don't look. He's like, don't look now or something. But I might be dating a 32-year-old with a kid. And I was like,
you don't have kids
with a kid. And I was just like, my first thought was like, whoa, Ty, 32. That's kind of old, isn't it? And I was like, no, it's not. He's 30 and I'm 31. Like, that's who I should be dating, I guess. But I don't want to date 30-year-olds. I want to date 21-year-olds.
Don't we all, E? You'll always want to date a 21-year-old, just for the record. You'll be 90 and you'll still look at 21-year-olds.
It's just funny. It struck me. So when you asked me what her age was, it just struck me that, like, I notice sometimes I say, like, I don't know, 30s or 40s, but 30 seems old to me.
I let it go forever. I let like 12 of them go.
Anyway, but maybe that chick's listening, so who knows?
Hopefully. The other thing I did over the weekend, I ended up at the hospital.
Oh, Mike.
I know.
You okay?
Friday night.
Is everything all right?
Everything's going to be okay. Everything's going to be fine.
Thank God.
Yeah, it had actually nothing to do with me. I went with Beth to the hospital because her grandpa ended up in the hospital. Yeah, he's 90.
He's a codger. No, I'm fine.
I got my finger on the trigger. Go ahead.
Delicious,
I dare you.
Red Bull right here.
I dare you.
No. Go ahead with your story.
Nothing. I just realized I really, really don't like the hospital.
Nobody likes the hospital.
No, but I
It's stinky.
really don't like the hospital. It was, especially being there with Beth. No offense to Beth, but she's a nurse.
Oh no! Is it like she's telling you, oh, she's doing this wrong, or oh, this is what I usually do?
No, but she was just really helpful. Like I personally, like, my dad was in the hospital. He had a surgery, and I stopped by and I gave him 15 minutes, 20 minutes, and it was like, you need your rest.
That's very respectful of you, Mike. Good for you.
You have a couple minutes. Glad you pulled through. We'll talk when you're feeling better, but you need your rest. Get your rest. I don't want to prevent you from resting.
True.
And so then you can bolt. Beth wants to like sit there for 3 hours.
Oh,
dude.
God.
And you were hungry too.
I was starving. I was starving before we left. It was like 6:30, and it was like, yeah, we need to stop by Grandpa's. He's in the hospital.
So you kind of think we'll stop by, say hi, then hit some dinner on the way home.
Yeah. And so we get there, and Grandpa's got some questions, and she's a nurse. So the nurses are like, Yeah, well, you're actually a nurse in the system, so if you want to help them out with some stuff,
Oh no.
that's great because they're busy, and so
Oh no.
Oh my god! And you're here stuck.
yeah, so
Help him out with something. Did she wipe his ass?
Worse. Catheter.
Catheter.
I don't know.
There was an issue with the catheter,
Oh no.
and so
She fixed it.
so there was some cleanup that needed to be involved.
It's her grandpa.
I understand that, and
Boston! Dude.
and I'm sitting here horrified, just like you're saintly. Like not in a million years. I couldn't.
And this dude's old as shit.
He's like 90. You that was a terrible sell job for you. That was really bad. You're a better actor.
I had you, dude. I had you. Again, I have to hit just the right point on this touch screen.
Yeah.
All you have to do is grab that thing and pull it down.
Go ahead.
Hands off the trigger.
Okay. Why is it not going?
You comes.
Potted it down is what happened, probably.
You did.
No, I didn't
Completely.
pot it down. There you go. I was trying to do the whistle from The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, but I was laughing.
I am on a drug. It's called Charlie Sheen.
I'm on a drug.
Okay, hold on. Again.
You comes.
Damn it!
You're missing your drop. You got to hit your drop.
You comes.
I'm going low. I'm shooting low.
Nicely done, sir. I'll give you that too. So yeah. Anyway, dude, there was a moment in there where that took place.
She seriously grabbed her grandpa's panoose
I don't know.
and
It's
like
not-
scrubbed it.
It's not like
Right,
she
did she
jacked it off. I mean,
well,
she just
Giving
she
him a
just had to,
sponge
like,
bath, kind of.
Panai or panai? I mean, they're
panoozle meat. Come on.
I mean, at that
dude.
point, possibly some
There's
urine
a
might have
tech-
gotten
there's
the
a
balls.
medical term.
mechanical,
It's
dude.
the panoozle meat.
Well, it's mechanical. So grandpa, granddaughter, it doesn't matter. If there's like rubbing,
And there could be, I mean, some around the. I mean, it could be some urine around the ball sack. I mean, it could be.
speaking of the ball sack, what did
No.
we- 90, right? I mean,
Yeah.
what did that all look like?
I wasn't.
What was that all about?
Sounds like we should ask Beth and find out.
Well, I
Now, what
wasn't.
did you do during this? Like, you just
Just
I
look at
stood
your phone.
there like I am right now. From me to you, from her and him, just going. I can't.
you saw
I
it.
can't do this. No. I
You
was trying
saw
to.
it, Mike.
I was trying to like look away, but then that felt awkward, and he didn't give a shit. He was just like, "Yeah, clean it up, do your thing," and she didn't seem to care. She put gloves on and went to her, and I'm just like, "No, there's no way. I couldn't in a
Yeah.
million years.
No.
I couldn't do that."
No.
Oh,
E, what are you talking about? You wipe your nana's
No,
badge
I
every
do
day.
not. No, I do not.
how's she doing, by the way? She's got to be close to that
Fine.
age where it's, you know.
I'm fine, I guess. I don't know.
E, why are you shutting down on this?
I'm not shutting down.
You used to be so open about Nana. You
I was
told us
never-
about her lightning bolt.
I never was open about Nana. You guys just made things up.
Oh,
and
we
then
just made up
decided
that you take her to the car wash to hose her down once a week.
Yes.
Yeah, we just made that up.
You did.
Mm-hmm. Anyway, the other thing over the weekend, it was like it's like the whole world stopped over the weekend for the fucking snowstorm
Oh, my
on the
God.
East Coast,
God.
which is where the majority of the media in the world is in New York, which is why that happens, where the presses come to a screeching halt, and it's like, let's just stick 400 newsmen out in 2 feet of snow with a ruler and go to them every 5 minutes
Yeah.
for 36 hours. It's so absurd. Like they've never seen snow before.
Yeah, that was absurd. Every time I was in the car from Friday through Sunday, really, it was just constant reports on, well, hopefully there's some drier air coming in and this will stop. And like, okay, we get it. It's a lot.
Yeah.
It's a lot. Plow it away. Go on with life. You'll be fine.
There were some interesting details about it, though. The winter storm Jonas. I don't know if you knew they were calling it Jonas.
Since when? Since when are they naming winter storms? I know about the hurricane thing.
Yeah.
They're naming winter storms.
Is it only with colossal winter storms? The storm for a lifetime.
But they go alphabetical. So you're telling me they've had like 16 colossal winter storms or whatever the number of J
16.
is? Whatever.
A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J. 10. Okay, it was closer than I thought. 10. Yeah,
There's been 9 other colossal winter storms.
Can you name one of them?
No, I cannot.
Winter
Winter
storm.
storm naming in the U.S. since 2011. Is this necessary?
No, I don't think it's
Well,
necessary to name
Sandy. They
hurricanes,
named
but-
Sandy.
Dude,
So what are
that's
they
a
jumping?
hurricane. They've always done that for hurricanes.
Oh, that's true. Snowtober, Halloween, Nor'easter in 2011.
Oh,
Yeah,
those are
whatever.
stupid names too.
Yeah, they are. Anyway, the 10 states declared emergencies during the storm, which resulted in the cancellation of over 12,000 flights. You believe that? That is a lot of flights across the country, while stranding motorists in states for more than 24 hours in Kentucky. I don't know if you saw that.
Mm-mm.
Dude, they had a 35-mile backup on 75.
Oh my
And
God.
people were stranded for over 24 hours in it. They were like bringing them water and snacks and shit like
Yeah.
through the line. All those miles.
Wow.
Isn't that nuts? 13 people were killed in car crashes in Arkansas, North Carolina, Kentucky, Ohio, Tennessee, and Virginia. One person died
Wait a
in
second.
Maryland.
They're blaming stuff in Arkansas for this storm.
Yeah,
Like,
apparently-
really? Did this hit Arkansas?
Yeah, I guess enough that they're blaming the weather on a death. Yeah. I don't know if you saw you probably did. New York City looked like an absolute ghost town. They canceled Broadway shows.
Oh,
My word. What will all the rich white people do?
high
How
society
dare
must
they?
have been up in a roar.
Bruce Springsteen canceled his show at Madison Square Garden that was supposed to be tonight, Sunday night.
Actually, you know what? I was affected by the snowstorm. There was supposed to be more pyro and more technical stuff at the lights at the.
Seriously?
Yes, they said that there was. They
You're in
almost,
Detroit, right?
yeah,
or
but
Lansing, you
but
said?
it came from somewhere else. I guess they
okay.
said that there was actually supposed to be more just whatever stuff, and they said that they just went on without it. But so I was affected by the storm as well on some level.
They canceled all Broadway shows because some actors and audiences weren't able to make the journey to the performances. This was a particularly harsh blow, they said, especially those who were set to see the Lin-Manuel Miranda Hamilton.
Oh my!
Yeah,
What the
that's
hell is that?
God damn!
which has a months-long waiting list to get tickets for.
What the hell is that?
It's about Hamilton.
Hamilton?
Hamilton.
All right,
or
Hamilton.
President Hamilton.
Really? A
1776.
Broadway show about President Hamilton?
It's the Hamilton mixtape, they call it.
Sounds compelling.
So they've got Hamilton and Jefferson and Washington. 60 minutes did a piece on this. Hamilton, Jefferson, and all these guys are played by black actors and
Really?
Hispanic actors. Yeah, and they do like raps and stuff. It's supposed to be
What?
President Obama went to one. They like did a song at the White House, and then he came to one of their performances.
What?
So it's hugely popular. Yeah. There's the Hamilton mixtape.
I'm thrilled the White House called me tonight because I'm actually working on a hip hop album. It's a concept album about the life of someone I think embodies hip hop. Treasury
It's
Secretary
like the kid
Alexander
from
Hamilton.
Married with Children.
You laugh, but it's true. He was born a penniless orphan in St. Croix.
He's also born white.
Became George Washington's right-hand man. Became Treasury Secretary.
Anyway, yeah, so that was canceled, and so people are all bummed out about that. In 4 days, I guess, when Superstorm Sandy hit in 2012, they closed. I don't know why they closed Broadway then. That was in Jersey, wasn't it? I guess it probably hit
It's
all.
probably
of that
really
coast.
windy there.
Yeah, they lost 4 days. That cost them $8.5 million.
Whoa!
On Broadway, isn't that crazy that they make that? Kind
Told
of
you it
money?
looked like him. What
Oh
was his name
wow!
on Married with Children again?
Bud Bundy
Bud. Yeah.
does look like him. You sure it's not him?
I know. I thought it was Bud Bundy.
At least 10 people died in storm-related crashes. I hope they're not crediting the storm with some deaths.
Well, that's
that
what I'm
don't
saying,
belong
man.
to
You're
them.
counting Arkansas, really? I mean, did this really? Although any little ice or something down there would just send everyone into a tizzy, right?
Yeah,
Any sort of
probably because you're not.
glazing
Yeah.
on the freeway, and
Yeah, you're right. That's more what it was, where they've got sheets of ice that you can't see, and so people were slamming into salt trucks. And did you hear about that Good Samaritan though?
no.
Dude, this guy crashes on the side of the road, and in North Carolina, and this guy Marvin Jacob Lee has been charged with murder, the murder of Jefferson Heavner. Police said he struck Lee once and then stood over his body and shot him numerous times.
What?
Dude, this guy spins out and into a ditch, and this guy's like, oh, wow. So he goes over to help him, ends up getting into a scuffle with him, and the guy murders him on the side of the road. Yeah. The group decided, so there's a whole group of bystanders. They're like, oh, let's help this poor man.
Yeah.
And so they decide to call police for assistance because this guy, he ends up becoming belligerent. Like, don't call the cops. And they're like, yeah, he sounds drunk or on something, so we should call the cops. And so they decided to do that. And when Lee heard them calling the police, he took out a pistol and just started shooting at the group. And the guy on the right's dead now. And the guy on the left was the shooter, right? Kadog, I have that right? Yeah.
Dude, that's bizarre.
Yeah. He said he returned to his car and then passed out. And they had to bring SWAT units in to like drag this dude out of the car now. So he's probably wasted, which honestly, if you're going to go out, get shit-faced and drive around in one of those storms is the best day to do it.
Yeah.
Because everybody's driving like an asshole.
Yeah.
If you're weaving, no big deal.
Good point.
So as long as you can pull it off and get home, nobody expects you to be a perfect driver out on the road. Small tip
Right,
there.
just like driving in the middle of the day, too.
True.
I've always said that, unless you get sloshed.
Yeah, but in those storms, in the rain,
Yeah,
in the
you
snow,
can get away with it.
you can get away with
Have
a
at
lot
it.
more.
I'm a champion. It's crazy, isn't it?
Wonder if he was out.
Nobody can do what I do.
Are you
Dude.
serious? This was his like Super Bowl.
Yeah. Bobby fucking Gallagher was definitely out. There's not a question in my mind. Think about all the cameras that were on the ground in well, he was in Buffalo, New York,
But still, he got hit.
I was on Channel 4 News riding a bicycle in a snowstorm.
Yeah, we heard that.
So anyway, I got so sick of the storm. The one video that came out of that though was those cops in DC. Did you see them playing football?
See that, yeah.
Did you have that, Kadog? The video of these the cops. They're out there Friday, Saturday, and today, doing storm duties, and they start playing ball with like local kids. They start playing some snow football with them. I loved playing football in the snow.
Mhm.
Yeah, I did too. I always thought it was great.
So look at this cop.
Catches the little swing pass over here, right? Stiff arm.
Oh, look at that vicious stiff arm.
God, that cop just.
Is the kid like wearing a t-shirt trying to tackle?
Dude, he just got stuck by that cop. By the way, this is grounds to pull your service revolver and shoot this kid right there. He's coming at the cop for sure. If he pulled a gun and shot him right there, he'd absolutely be justified. I mean, it's not like these cops can set their guns down, right?
Right. He clobbered that kid.
Get out of here, you.
God.
Yeah, just connecting with the community.
The cops blazing in the car. Isn't that awesome? And then there was a guy that died, and I don't know if if the storm is getting credit for this one, but a couple assholes were playing Russian roulette in an apartment in New York.
No, this can't be storm related.
I don't know, but
Well, maybe it was cabin fever.
Well, yeah, right. Don't we always
cabin
hear?
fever killed him, not the storm.
Well, yeah, that's a good point. But this 37-year-old guy has died. I think he's married. His wife.
Playing Russian roulette. Nice.
Yes. At an apartment in New York as the blizzard was going on outside. His name is we need some vowels. ZDZISLAW. Zidislaw.
Sure.
Golubic. Zidislaw Golubic. He was with a friend around 8 o'clock. And then he shot himself in the face. Oh, Golubic.
I think people really played that, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
Like, especially
this Russian dude did.
Wow.
His
Isn't that
brother.
kind of cliche, like the Russian guy.
I was
playing
wondering
Russian roulette.
what they call it there. Do they just call it roulette? Or do they call it Russian roulette? We played Russian roulette. His brother told the Post that after he heard about it from his wife, Bozena told him, my feeling was like, I can't believe it. I still can't believe it. He was very quiet. He never got into trouble. Paramedics were called and arrived at the scene through 2-foot snow piles. They get up there and they're like, yeah, what do you want us to do with him? He blew his face off. What are you going to do? So, yeah. Isn't that terrible?
Gang rape.
I don't know. Just like he's like, what are you gonna do? It's like, I don't know, why are they there?
Guy shot in the face. Had a wife. Ha!
I don't know.
You're a monster, man.
Would you play one round of Russian roulette? Just one?
No.
Come on.
No.
Dude, when we were talking about the lotto and the chances of your winning the lotto and all that, there was somebody who threw out there on one of those news programs, like, you have a better chance of playing Russian roulette like 85 times a day for, how many days straight and beating it every time.
Really?
Than you do winning the lotto. Yeah, it was in those terms like, oh my God.
Well, as you remember, I couldn't flip that coin to get even more than
28 in a row, right? That's all you needed? That's all you needed.
I couldn't get more than 3 in a row.
Yeah.
In a 10-minute span. But
could you even get 2 in a row? I don't even think
I had 3 like once.
You didn't really commit to that. You did it for like
10 minutes.
10 minutes, bullshit.
I'll do it again. Someone give me a coin. I'll sit here again and do it.
We got a quarter.
Everybody working on their Kegels, by the way?
No, why are you working on Kegels?
Because of his commitment.
It's my
now I am
New Year's resolution, man. Gotta get my 500 in 6, 7.
Can't you do those earlier in the day?
No,
I always think of it when I'm here. I don't know why.
Can you see it through the jeans?
No.
Can I see it through yours? Can I see you kegeling? Oh, I can see it flinching. God damn it. Oh, Jesus.
My taint flinching.
Did you see SNL over the weekend by chance?
I did not. I heard Palin made an appearance.
Dude, she crushed it. Did you see it, E?
I watched it this morning online, yes.
Yeah, I thought it was really good. Maybe we can watch a snippet of it.
We're going to get shut down.
I know. Well, okay, maybe we'll watch. Hold on. Before we get there, I almost forgot. Before we started the show, apparently Leslie Nielsen died.
Yes, he definitely did before we started the show.
Yeah, I don't know if you'd heard that before, but E apparently shared that.
No one else in this room knew.
He reported to me like it was breaking news.
I looked at my phone and I saw an update that just said,
dude.
Leslie Nielsen died, I guess. And I didn't look any more into it.
And so I reported to Mike. I'm like, dude, you hear that Leslie Nielsen died?
I was like, no way.
Hey, I was right.
Yeah, you were.
Yeah, because he died in 2010.
Well, no one else seemed to know.
Oh, yeah, and how's that?
You can always hear Clark in the back.
By the way, I faked every orgasm. I love it. I love it.
So why were you? What came across that you thought Leslie Nielsen died like today?
Why should I tell you?
I have no idea, dude. I was on my Facebook on my phone, and it just someone had shared something or something that just said Leslie Nielsen dies at age 84. I'm like, oh shit. I guess.
Did you ever see the video of him on? I don't know where he is. Good Morning Boston or something.
No.
Doing an interview when he farts on camera.
No.
Put something over on you, slip something in. Yeah. And you end up participating and say, just a minute now, he's going to do something. I understand what he's up to now. And you really start to watch what's happening. That's the other thing about the humor is you have to pay attention to it.
Sounds a great film too. Sounds a great film to work on. Well, we'll chat more.
Anything you want to say, go ahead.
We'll chat more later on. Stay with us.
Yes.
But,
you're not going to ask me to leave, are you?
Well, maybe you just like to go to the little ladies' room for a while, or the gents' room, and come back and just sort yourself
corrected
out.
That. Yes.
All right.
Right, now a bit of sanity. Let's have a look at the weather now with Ulrika. She's out and about. All this week, she's from Wales this morning. She's in Larne and she's got her sunglasses on.
I guess that's not Boston.
I'm so sorry about
morning
this.
show.
We're suffering from wind here as well.
Yeah, I think you're right. It's not Boston, but
they had a huge ass mic.
Well, E, what did we learn from this little scenario?
Look, I didn't look into it any more than just looking at my phone and saying, "Oh, I guess Leslie Nielsen died." I didn't declare it necessarily.
I like the fact that nobody just took your word for it and everybody had to look it up on their own just to make sure. And Jay's like, I'm looking at the top 5 stories on Fox News currently, and I don't see Leslie Nielsen dying.
Yeah, he reported
being
that
one
it
of
was
them
on Fox News. I saw it on Fox News.
Actually, what I meant to say is that the link that I saw on my Facebook said Fox News. So I don't know why that would show up on my thing now, but
yeah,
whatever.
Anyway, Tina Fey returned to SNL, and as did Daryl Hammond. Ronda Rousey was the host, and you know what else they did? They did another skit on on. Remember the one they did that was really funny about the teacher sex scandal?
Yes.
What's funny about that is like when I was.
Did you see that?
Yeah, I did.
Was that wasn't the same one?
No, it wasn't. It wasn't. And what was weird about it is because when I watched it, then I saw that one and I started thinking, like, I started looking because I watched it this morning online where you could just online they just have the clips, of all the bits. And I was like, dude, am I watching? Was this a rerun? I mean, but it's, I know all these reports are talking about this.
Wow, that's the single most boring sentence I ever heard.
I thought it was a rerun.
So did I. There were a couple because there was a bit they played later in the show that was a repeat.
Huh.
I can't remember which one it was, but it was a.
Since when did they do that?
They occasionally will do it with a skit, and I don't know if it had to do with the storm because most places were shut down in New York on Saturday night, but Saturday Night Live still went on with the show.
I mean, it was almost exactly the same, except just a minor amount different things that he said.
There you go. There it is. Okay, the controversial teacher sex sketch returned as a threesome with Ronda Rousey, and it was pretty good.
Yeah, I thought. I mean, this one was definitely funny again.
Did you find this funnier? Should play a minute?
No, we're gonna get shut down. You know how this goes, man.
She's no fun, you pussy. We didn't get shut down last time.
We got shut down the 8 times before that.
Well, what are you gonna do? Anyways, Tina Fey came back on and reprised her role with Daryl Hammond playing Trump, wearing the same outfit. Yeah, it was pretty good. I think it came off well. She told the crowd she was happy to leave her full-time job posting things on Facebook to come out and stump for Trump. The parody poked fun at Palin's rambling Iowa endorsement, her stance on immigration, her frequent comments about her hometown of Alaska. At one point, she says she belongs in the future presidential cabinet because she's got a great rack and she's full of spice.
Oh boy.
Yeah, I don't know. It was a good video. We probably shouldn't play it. Sorry. The one video involving Donald Trump we can play. Just see him over the weekend taking a lot of shit for.
It's just a ridiculous example of the media again. Where what did he say? I could shoot somebody and I wouldn't lose votes.
Yeah, exactly. He suggested Saturday morning that supporters are so loyal that they wouldn't even abandon him if he went on a gun rampage. I could stand in the middle of Fifth Avenue and shoot somebody and I wouldn't lose any voters. Okay, it's like incredible. There he is.
My people are so smart. And you know what else they say about my people? The polls. They say I have the most loyal people. Did you ever see that? Where I could stand in the middle of Fifth Avenue and shoot somebody and I wouldn't lose any voters, okay? It's like incredible. No, they say.
So is he repeating something that someone else said there?
No, I don't think so.
I mean, you've sort of heard that phrase before, right?
I've never heard anybody say that.
Voting, but
yeah.
So what's the big deal?
Oh, in this climate of gun control and violence, are you kidding me?
Like he's going to go out and shoot someone.
Well, it's not even he's going to. Oh no, he isn't. Yeah, you're right. I know. I fucking had a brain fart.
He also commented on the all the TV ads that I guess are playing in Iowa. We're not seeing them here, but all the super PACs are playing spots for these guys. I guess it probably takes up 60 to 70% of the TV landscape.
Oh my god.
Yeah, as far as like whenever there's a commercial, it's going to be a political one. They pay a fortune for these things to just bombard the people in these early voting spots. So the super PAC supporting Ben Carson, Rubio, and Ted Cruz that are hammering everything Trump has said. But Trump said those ads are total bullshit. He told his fans that too.
He said total, quote unquote, total bullshit.
Quote unquote, total bullshit.
Nice.
The total bullshit. And then minutes later, he floated the idea of filing a lawsuit to challenge Cruz and his eligibility to run for president. He could run for prime minister of Canada. I wouldn't even complain because he was born in Canada. Kind of a cheap shot.
So he's come off his passive aggressive kind of stance on that, and he's hitting them on it. Huh? Those two have really gone much more head to head over the last week.
Who?
Cruz and Cruz and Trump.
I thought they kind of backed off over the last week. The week before that, they were all over each other.
Okay, whatever. The months before that, they were doing this little dance.
Yeah, the whole bromance that everyone was talking about.
Where it was like, is Cruz just setting up to be asked to be advice or what? And then Cruz saw that he was in striking distance, so he leapt.
Yeah. Well, and Trump, as soon as he got close enough, Trump pounced on the whole birther thing. Yeah. Anyway, speaking of Ted Cruz, God, somebody pulled out some video of him as an 18-year-old.
Oh, I can only imagine.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Do you have that video, Kadog?
A fine young Republican, no doubt.
He is such a nerd and such a little douche. It's hard to watch. It was posted to
Jesus Christ.
Look at YouTube this week. Can't you tell that's him? Yeah. And he's asked, 18-year-old Ted has asked what he wanted to do with his life. Back it up, Kadar. Go talk to him.
Oh, what a dork.
Aspirations. Is that like sweat on my butt?
Aspirations, sweat on my butt.
Oh, I see. What you want me to do, what I want to do in life. Well, my aspiration is to, I don't know, be in a teen sit film like that guy who played Horatio. You know, he was in Malibu Bikini Beach Shop. Well, other than that, take over the world domination, rule everything, rich, powerful, that sort of stuff.
God, annoying guy.
Rich, powerful, take over the world, that kind of stuff. I just got that. I just paid enough attention to it that time. Aspirations. What is that like when my butt sweats? What are your aspirations?
Whoa, that's his dad? Wow.
Oh, yeah, that's his dad.
Teeth.
Yeah, that's his dad. What does his dad say at the end, Mr. Dog?
Do you think Ted's going to rule the world one day? I hope not.
No. Wow.
That grill is not promising.
Oh, Cuban dentistry.
And then one that I want you to take to and actually see if you can find is Ted Cruz's former roommate from Princeton.
Okay.
Who hates Ted Cruz for some reason. I'd love to ask him.
Oh, that'd be a great guy to talk to.
Yeah, Craig Mazin is his name. And he's for years, apparently, I wasn't familiar with him. I guess he's a screenwriter in Hollywood. And he also attended Princeton when Ted Cruz did. And they were freshman year roommates. Ted Cruz, he says, wants you and anybody listening to know that Ted Cruz is as terrible as he seems, maybe worse. In 2013, he spoke to the Daily Beast about Cruz. In addition to Mays and several fellow classmates who asked that their names not be used to describe young Cruz with words like abrasive, intense, strident, crank, and arrogant.
Crank.
Four of them offered the word creepy. With some pointing to Cruz's habit of donning a paisley bathrobe and walking to the opposite end of their dorm's hallway where the female students lived. It would end up with us fielding the girls' complaints. Could you please keep your roommate out of our hallway? He's creepy.
Yeah, I could see that, like a nerdy confidence, like not realizing he's such a dork.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could see him doing that.
He says the idea that this guy would become, leader of the free world at someday. I would rather have anybody else be president of the United States. Anyone. I would rather pick somebody from the phone book. Just randomly flip through the phone book and pick anyone.
Wow. Find this guy.
I want to be clear because Ted Cruz is a nightmare of a human being. I have plenty of problems with his politics, but truthfully, his personality is so awful that 99% of why I hate him is just his personality. If he agreed with me on every issue, I would hate him only 1% less. Wow.
All his colleagues do too. The Senate, everybody hates his guts.
Yeah.
Nobody's supporting him. Even Palin, who he credits with getting him into the Senate, supported Trump just now. So
when he was first elected senator, Craig Mazin took to Twitter and was like, my freshman year college roommate, Ted Cruz, is going to be elected senator. In case I hadn't made it clear, he's also a huge asshole. When Ted Cruz was my roommate, he endlessly hit the snooze button. I asked him to stop. He wouldn't, so I crazy glued it. # learn from this. In 1988, I puked all over Ted Cruz's textbooks. You jealous? So, yeah, he's got a real problem and hang up with him. You want to see if you can find him? I don't know what kind of screenplays he's done, but apparently he's a screenplayer.
Hey, Mike, we got to mention Twin Peaks. Twin Peaks,
Let's
January 30th. Come out and see us. Meet and greet. We'll all be there.
7
o'clock, I believe, is the
I think we're saying
time.
7 o'clock arrival.
Yeah, targeting 7 o'clock. Moreover, the fellas over there wanted you guys to know that they're going to be opening another location off Haggerty Road between 7 Mile and 8 Mile in Livonia. The old TGI Fridays. They're putting up a new Twin Peaks out there, so watch for that. But why spend time listening or sitting in traffic going to the game when you could spend the afternoon watching the game in the Ultimate Sports Lodge Twin Peaks? At Twin Peaks, you won't find the standard menu of frozen foods that go out of a bag and into a fryer. You find the best kitchen in sports that's making everything from scratch right down to their ranch. So catch every big game at your local Twin Peaks. Good food, cold beer, big screens.
Those local guys hate the commercial we're about to play.
Yeah, the football gods.
Yeah, the football gods. They're like, God damn it, I hate that commercial. So it's not just you. If anyone doesn't like it, they don't like it either. So they're trying to get get something different in. We'll see. Anyway, why don't we take a quick time out, and we'll come back and we'll tell you how it's going with the migrants in Germany. We got an update on
How
some
the
of
pamphlets are doing, you mean?
Well,
everything's
the pamphlets
smoothed
working
over,
out?
right?
the pamphlets are going. There's some other hangups that have popped up, but
it's a
no big
learning
deal.
curve. It's a learning curve.
Absolutely, we're all just getting through this. So we'll let you know what's going on in Germany and what they're doing to combat it as well. So we'll do that and much more next.
The Detroit Cast continues after this short break.
Hey, it's me, one of the football gods. I could make your team's season or break it. And there's no better place to catch me in action than Twin Peaks. That place is football heaven, and I should know. I'm a god. At Twin Peaks, you won't find the standard menu of frozen foods that go out of a bag and into a fryer. You'll find the best kitchen in sports. It's making everything from scratch, right down to their ranch. My thoughts exactly. So spend this season at Twin Peaks. I command it.
Friends, it's me again, Steve Gabarro, the general manager at Zott Ford and Holly. The nasty cold grip of old man winter is upon us, and there's no better way to beat it than driving a new F-150 from Zott Ford. Lease a new 2015 F-150 Super Cab XLT 4x4 for just $288 a month, zero cash due at signing. Or you can buy a new 2016 Ford F-150 for as low as $24,200. Yes, I said buy a new F-150 for as low as $24,200. Folks, these deals are hotter than the water in Big E's mop bucket. So please hurry down to I-75 at exit 98 to take advantage of these smoking hot deals before they take a knee like Big E.
The Detroit Cast continues now, bitches. Here's Mike and Jay.
All right, welcome back to the Detroit Cast. It's Mike and Jay. And I'm turning into a lightweight, Jay. I can't drink beer like I used to.
You had like a beer and a half.
I've had like 3.
BLDs, man.
Yeah, I know, but I found that I've tried some of the craft beers recently, like going out.
Yeah, but you're talking about a difference of like 6% alcohol here when you're talking BLD versus craft.
I got a serious buzz off 2 of those.
It's good.
Beth and I were out at some restaurant, and yeah, it was like, holy shit, is this what these are all about? They weren't bad either. They were actually pretty good. I was surprised that I kind of enjoyed them. Anyway.
Yeah, E, who was the listener who hooked us up with all those different beers?
Yeah, we need to call him again.
Some guy named Adam.
Some guy named Adam. Thank you, Adam, by the way. But Adam provided like just a plethora different types of craft beers. I don't know, just he works for some distributor or something. I mean, it was not just
he's probably robbing stores.
Maybe. Whatever. It worked for us. Lots of different stuff though. I enjoyed sampling those. So Adam, if you ever
well, I lost all my contacts.
Feel the need to give away beers again.
I don't have any.
Yeah, you lost your phone.
But you have it back. So if Adam's listening, he should just get a hold of you.
Yeah.
And then you guys can make that arrangement.
Speaking of that, dude, we need some more Red Bull too.
I know. I'll work on that as well.
We're gonna need you to run to the merch store as well this week.
Wednesday.
Yeah, Wednesday
or Thursday.
Can you get
I
down there?
don't know if Wednesday will work. It'll probably have to be Tuesday.
Sorry. We were going to bring some merch out to Twin Peaks. Not a lot, but just some of the new shirts. If anyone wants to buy some of those, we'll bring some out. Mugs, bumper stickers, that kind of thing. So are you guys coming to that? Any of you guys? Yeah, you coming out? Okay, cool. It wouldn't have offended us if you said, fuck no.
2 times in 1 week.
Yeah, that's cool. Anyway, so yeah, either you've got a lot on your list now, your to-do list.
Ugh.
You have to find Ted Cruz's old roommate from Princeton.
Oh, yeah, I already forgot.
I want to write these down, E.
I've got them. It's all.
Oh, perfect. Yeah. Steel trap.
That's great.
Steel trap.
Yeah.
Hey, this segment's brought to you by Mayer and Company Accountants. Paying taxes sucks. The whole process is confusing and time-consuming. Let Kyle Mayer and his firm handle your personal or business taxes. We know that Big E has no clue where the bean even is, but Kyle Mayer, he counts beans for a living. Call Kyle at 248-521-0016. Tell him the Detroit Cast sent you, and you'll get 10% off your year-end tax preparation fee. E, I have a question for you.
I know.
Did you get your 10% off from Kyle Mayer?
Yes.
All right. You met with Kyle on Saturday.
I did meet with Mr. Mayer on Saturday, and he was working at my bean countings. Hopefully,
did he find your beans?
Was he able to resolve your tax issues?
Yes, he was. It was very easy. It was awesome. I would recommend it to anybody.
He just went, yeah, you didn't make any money, so you don't really need to do any of your taxes.
I don't know what I'm talking to you for.
Thanks for coming in, though.
Right.
You're like a babysitter. You don't need to file a tax return. You're like a 13-year-old girl. I mean, why are we
I
here?
know, but I still wanted to.
I made $3 an hour at the Johnson household.
I know, but I still wanted
twice a week.
I wanted to have somebody still, even at $3, you never know. You could write off some of that, some expenditures on some level, I suppose. No, I don't know. It was great. I think definitely would say that it was very easy. So I don't know. He seemed like a good guy.
He's a good dude. He just seemed like he's a super good dude.
Yeah, and he supports the show. So you guys, dude, everybody, you do your taxes, you guys. Like everyone does them.
Yeah,
like, there's
if anybody
no reason
goes to like H&R Block or some shit, you're an asshole if you're a listener. Okay?
Agreed.
Like, dude, it's one thing.
Move. Total dick move.
Like, it's awesome that people bought cars and stuff, but I can get beyond the fact that, dude, that's a big purchase. But this is fucking taxes. You all are gonna do your taxes. So fucking ridiculous if you don't go to this dude.
Yeah,
he'll give you a lot more money back. He helped me out. I'm getting some money back. So.
He just gave you some money.
Sure,
he just felt bad for you and gave you some money.
Go away, dude.
I got some money back from Kyle Mayer.
He just flipped you 20 for gas.
Maybe so, but he'll do that for you too. He'll give you money back by giving you 10% off when you mention the Detroit Cast. Plus more money.
God damn it, Marcel.
What about Marcel?
God damn it, Marcel.
Marcel! She's a good woman.
Hasn't given me shit since Marcel was born. She's a good woman. Uwe's probably going crazy with what's going on with
what happened.
Angela Merkel and Germany and the migrants. Uwe, if we
was
had
over
Uwe on
there-
the phone, Uwe would be beside himself at what's going on over there with all the well, all the
migrant
attacks.
fondlings.
Yeah, he might be okay
Pro or
with the
con?
fondling. He might be pro fondling of women.
That's what I was gonna like.
Yeah, he'd get it. He'd get where it comes
He'd
from.
get
but
where you'd want to grab an ass or
he'd
a
be
ditty.
pissed that it's a migrant.
A
though,
migrant,
doing it.
yes. He'd have a problem with the fact that goddamn foreigners touch my women. Marcel! Yeah, there's a new problem in Germany as a bunch of migrants have been banned from a historic bath in Germany.
Oh no! Oh Mike,
Dude,
don't tell me.
A gang of men were caught on camera. Just
Mike.
jerking it in a hot tub.
Does this need to be added to the brochure? Really?
Dude, I know, right?
Don't jack it in a hot tub.
They were jacking it in a hot tub and sexually assaulting women. Historic bath there. Several other men were seen emptying their bowels. They were shitting in the kiddie side of the pool.
Come on,
They've
man.
got cameras in there, and so they're seeing all this.
One could argue to the unknowing, though, it does look like a large just toilet.
Well, I mean, yeah, I suppose there's going to have to be some sort of defense put up. I mean, I suppose you could say anything, but that's absurd. You can't go shitting in the kiddie pool, and you can't jack it in the other side in the hot tub.
Yeah.
God damn it! I shouldn't have to tell them.
generally agree with that.
I mean, that's like we talk about bright lines. That's
I don't know that it's that bright.
And what are you doing jacking off with a group of dudes in a
that's a bright line.
Something E would do with his buddies, not a bunch of migrants in Germany.
Like I would never do that with my friends.
For the record.
For the record.
Management,
let the record stand.
Management are reportedly no longer allowing migrants into the facilities following the allegations, while some local swimmers have stayed away. So even people that go there, that's their pool, their bath, if you will.
Yeah, I was going to say, man, are people really like, is this like, so this is just a public swimming pool? Is this being termed a bath? Like, what is this, Mike? Let's define this.
Well,
I can't go any further with the story until we define. Is this a pool? Or is this a bathhouse?
Well,
is this a bathhouse?
I don't think it's a bathhouse.
If it's a bathhouse, you sort of deserve it.
I think it's
I'm just saying.
Here's what it is. Kadog's got a picture of it.
Wow,
so what is
nice
that?
Establishment.
Huh?
So guys grand. It looks grand.
Yeah.
The brickwork, the masonry.
So I don't know what. That just doesn't seem like human behavior. That seems like animal behavior to jack it in the hot tub.
It does.
Every time the urge hits, you don't just jack it. And you certainly don't. Oh, sorry, I muted my microphone.
Yeah, these things really work.
Yeah, my knee
hit
hit it. I was like, God damn it, what happened to our mics?
It's cough buttons, they work.
You'll get that tomorrow when you listen. If you listen back, you'll hear what's going on right now. And you certainly don't shit in the kiddie side of the pool.
Well,
not that the adult side of the pool is any better, but you just don't shit in the pool.
If you're going to shit in one side, though, I'd say shit in the kiddie side.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to swim down to the bottom to retrieve said shit.
I think we'd be fooling ourselves if we don't think the kids already shit in the kiddie side. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, but isn't it all just one big soup? I mean, you're not really. I mean, yeah, we could just for context of where we're talking about in the rectangle, you can go in the kiddie end. So shit in the kiddie end.
It's a different pool. I think this is a different structure.
Oh, I think it's roped off by those plastic string of shit.
I think not, Mike. You haven't been to a public pool in a long time, have you? There's a separate pool.
So they're using that as a toilet.
Yeah, I think they get out of their pool and they go and shit in the big toilet.
All right. An asylum seeker has masturbated in the hot tub and ejaculated into the basin. What's the basin?
The hot tub? I don't know. Just another word for the water.
Well, they masturbated in the hot tub and then tossed into the basin. What's a basin?
Like into the you open up the little filter area? Is that the basin?
Oh, okay. I don't think so. I think they would call that the little filter area.
Where you find all the frogs.
Yeah, right.
Remember that at Aldingbrook?
This is also in Aldingbrook, sure.
Miguel and I used to be groundskeepers at a luxury apartment complex in West Bloomfield, 14 and Drake, Aldingbrook.
They end up in mine.
Estates.
They end up in my filter all the time.
Do you remember though? Every morning that was the utmost fun, going and clearing out all those frogs and just whipping them into the woods.
Yeah, just chucking them. Yeah, we do that here. You've done that here.
Now and then you find one of those moles with the crazy nose
in the
pool, just sauntering about at night.
Oh yeah, they'll all do that. There's a lot of little sons of bitches. The frogs swimming around creep me out too. And then they can't get their asses out, so they die, and then they end up floating into the filter. It's a nightmare.
Trying to climb up those wet tiles.
Yeah, I don't give them a hand either. I feel bad when I'm seeing them. I'm like, God damn it, get out of here, you.
You don't help them?
Yeah, I do. I was trying to think what else has ended up in there. There's been some other things that have ended up in that pool, animal-wise.
The filter, yeah.
Or just in the pool, swimming laps. Yeah.
Like a muskrat or something like that.
I can't remember. It'll come to me.
Dude, I had a muskrat fall down in my little egress window. You know, I had that. I don't have a walkout basement.
Oh,
but
don't you have to? Isn't
those
that fire
escape-
code now?
Yeah. You have to have one of those windows that opens and you can climb up.
Yeah.
Dude, we get crap falling in there all the time. I'm always telling Manny and Russell, go save it. Because I'll walk down and there'll be like 4 mice jumping at the window. I'll be like, Manny, Russell, go save those guys. And they'll typically do it. So one time I go down there and
how far down is it?
It's just, I don't know, 5 feet, 4,
So someone will fall down the 5 feet and then can't get out?
Correct.
Wow.
Dude, if you were like yay big.
Oh, yeah. No, I know. But I would think they would see that it's a 5-foot drop and would avoid
they're
falling
sauntering about. They're not, they're just
paying
doing
much
their
attention.
right. They're
Okay.
doing their thing.
All right.
So this one time I get a muskrat in there. And out of the corner of my eye, yes, I see a
look at it.
Exactly.
Look at it, Bruce.
I see that son of a bitch looking at me from the corner of my eye. I'm like, and this thing's like outside.
So you're inside your house
I'm
looking
inside.
through the window.
And I see this full-grown muskrat, So I send Manny and Russell out. They can't handle it. And so we ended up grabbing a Home Depot bucket. And this thing, the problem was, you don't want that thing like attacking your face, right?
Generally I would say that's a good rule of
So
thumb.
you're thinking, the typical butterfly net that we use for the mice and stuff, not going to work, right? This thing's too vicious and big. So I grab the Home Depot bucket, tie a little rope on it, and then grab a broom, and I'm trying to shoo it into this thing.
Yep.
Finally, I get it. The thing's like attack. Gab's Gab's inside the window just watching and laughing because it's like, ha! On the bucket and everything. And so finally I get it in there. And dude, I whipped it out on the lawn. This thing had been struggling for days to get out of there. And he just like tumbles out of the bucket and just sits there. And then that son of a bitch dog from next door comes booking around the corner and grabs it and goes, this poor little guy, man.
Oh, no. He didn't have a chance.
I hate that dog.
I know you do. Oh, that poor guy. I thought that was going to have a much happier ending. I thought you were going to say he sprung to with great vigor and then took off. No, you sent him to his murder.
Wait, I amend the story. It was a raccoon. It was a raccoon that the dog took. That guy did. He sprung forth and ran. Yes, the muskrat made it out. It was the raccoon. Same kind of story, though. Whipped him out. Same deal with the broom. Dog grabbed it and just wouldn't let it go, man. Chew toy.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was awful.
What kind of horrible video are you pulling up here? Could
I don't know.
Yeah, kick it out here, though.
Dogs attacking muskrat. In portrait, of course.
Yeah, some asshole filmed this.
Oh, that's disgusting.
No, leave me alone, you guys.
Now, who you rooting for in this situation?
I'm rooting
You're
for
a dog lover.
I'm rooting for whoever's going to get their ass handed to him. I don't want him to eat that guy, and I don't want them to hurt the poops.
I have a feeling this little guy's going to be tougher than you think. Look at him. Oh, the guy kicked it.
No,
Who's an asshole? Dude. Oh,
that's no fair. 3-on-1. Get out of here.
Come on, muskrat. Come on, muskrat. Kick his ass.
Fuck you guys. Leave me alone. Seriously.
Get a muskrat.
Leave my tail alone, you dick. Leave me alone. Trying to get on my way. Leave.
Hope it runs at that dude and springs to his face.
Hey, stop pushing. God damn it. Leave me alone.
God, why is this funny to this guy?
I don't know. I don't want to watch this, Kadog. Look at these assholes. I
Oh
wouldn't
my
expect
gosh.
chicks to be hanging out watching this.
Oh,
that's mean. Oh, no.
No, my muskrat made it. It was the raccoon that got just. It's not good.
Yeah. So anyway, back to our migrant friends.
Oh yeah.
Basically like animals, right? They furthermore, the lifeguards, they said, had to protect women and girls from the asylum seekers. Young men wanted to forcibly penetrate the female changing room. It's kind of an unfortunate choice of statement. They wanted to forcibly penetrate the women's changing room.
Right. Like,
yeah, they wanted to break into the chicks' changing room. They wanted to see some titties and vagine. It's something they're not used to. So they had to stop them from that. There was an incident at another swimming pool. The news comes following confirmation that from German police that the sexual assaults and robberies New Year's Eve did not only happen in Cologne, but that similar incidents took place in 12 of Germany's regional states. And they are WDR television stations were reporting the phenomenon of sexual violence is much greater than we previously thought.
Yeah,
it's not ready, dude. They're not ready for prime time.
Merkel's got to be taking some major heat.
Yeah,
major.
I'm telling you, dude. It's like if you shouldn't be thrown on the football field if you don't know how to play football. Like, get your shit in gear, learn how to play the game.
Oh.
But I don't want to waste our time throwing some asswipe who's never seen the game of football played before and throw him on the field, and now we're gonna just like hope he gets it.
Good analogy, Mike.
You know what I mean?
You
learn.
hit the nail on the head, so to speak.
Learn the sport, and then we'll think about letting you play it down or two.
I'm with you, sir.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
But finally.
Yes, sir. Oh, very funny, sir.
Yes.
Oh, you're right.
The sex attacks have led authorities across Europe, and we talked about this the other day. The pamphlet that's coming out.
Sorry.
What?
You actually looked me in the eye for a second. That was weird.
You tard.
I don't know how I caught it, but I caught your eye direct.
Come on, Big E. Is that all you got?
For a
It's
second.
impossible.
Lifeless eyes, black eyes like a doll's eye.
So did you show our guests your beady little soulless devil Saint eyes?
Unlike him, taking my glasses off.
Or his beady little eyes.
Take your glasses off and show them. Show
me.
It's just what am I gonna
Look at these things. They're shark-like. They're soulless.
I hate doing this.
This is unreal. This is unreal.
Oh! Put him back on! Put him on!
Put him on!
Oh!
I hate doing it as much as anyone does, by the way.
God, they're beady. Oh,
I mean, you can't ever make out a pupil.
No,
you can't. There's no. It's
The
just
blackest eyes, the deathless eyes.
Yeah, it's sad. They're scary. Just keep those glasses on. You'll be fine. Did he spell? Yeah, we're very
I kind of had
used
a
to
spit take.
Yeah.
You made me laugh.
Hey, something, right? So they've authorities across Europe are releasing these pamphlets, and they're trying to distribute them to people. I don't know how effective this will be. I'm assuming it'll be great, but the Austrian Interior Ministry has issued a behavior guide, which includes drawings of a man hitting a woman covered by a giant red cross. Like, this is a no-no. There it is.
Oh my god.
Right there. That's being passed out to them.
This is where we are? Really?
Yeah. So you don't punch women. Don't raise your hand and slap women. No, bad. Shame on you. And then this is okay, though. Guys kissing guys and chicks kissing chicks is cool. So that gets a green check mark. That's good. We're allowed to do that.
You know what, dude?
Too bad that now they need to add like some guy jacking in a hot tub with a cross through it. You know, you need to X that
We have
out.
to anticipate everything vile and vulgar and put X's through it. Do we? Is that where we're at?
Seems impossible. Does anyone really believe that this right here is going to stop any of the shit going on right now? Anybody believe that's going to
Mike, a
happen?
committee has clearly been formed, so I agree with that move.
This is what the formed committee came up with. We're going to do cartoon drawings of a man raising a hand to his lady. I'll smack the shit out of you, woman.
The committee's not perfect, okay? But the committee is on the shit.
Yeah. She's got nice titties, by the way. Look at the titties they gave
Oh my
her.
goodness, yeah.
Aren't those beautiful? Can we find a nude of her somewhere, Kadog? See if you can find a nude of her. She's got nice cans.
You know, speaking of handing out pamphlets, by the way, it is a weird circumstance, but I had what I guess was a Jehovah's Witness come up to me. Weird story, but I was really early for work on Saturday morning, so I didn't know what to do. So I just eating Taco Bell breakfast in the Kroger parking lot.
Aren't we all early for work on Saturday mornings? I mean, that's it's pretty typical.
Like,
why
I'm
were you
sure
so early for work on a Saturday morning, dude?
Okay, well, what
You
happened?
didn't go to sleep, did you? You son of a
No,
bitch?
I did. What had happened was that I knew I had all this stuff going Saturday, the show and whatnot. So I ran at the gym in the morning before work, and I mistimed when I was supposed to leave because I'd forgot that on Saturdays we open at 8, not 7:30. So essentially, I was a half hour early, which was kind of a bummer. But I was sitting here eating this Taco Bell breakfast in the Kroger parking lot, just trying to kill time. And dude, a lady just comes up out of nowhere. She's like, hey. I'm like, what's going on or whatever. And she's like, I roll the window down. She's like, oh, I'm just out here doing volunteer work. And I just wondered if you'd be interested. And it was like a Jehovah's Witness or something. Like, I guess, because on the pamphlet, it was I just thought it was really bizarre that she would just, I mean, you're talking, this is 7 a.m. Just, it's not even, the sun isn't out yet. They're just sitting in the Kroger parking lot. I just thought
I've had that happen a few times recently.
Like, I get the house.
Like coming up to my house, like wanting to, like giving me those little God pamphlets, like about the Bible and Jesus and stuff, saving my soul. I've had that happen numerous times. And then I've had people, they keep coming around with like these petition sign up things, and they like brush off what it is, but
I can't believe you answer the door for these. Like,
dude, I'm usually sitting at the table like prepping for this show, and then they can see me, and all of a sudden, boom, there they are, and it's like, they scare me, and then it's like I can't just pretend not to hear them.
I can. I've walked past the door before when people were ringing the door.
Well, they're just standing there like an asshole, and they're like, yeah, will you sign our petition? And it's like, well, what's your petition? And you know, usually it's like, yeah, just sign it and make these people go away. But I don't trust anybody anymore. They're like, yeah, we're trying to save the Great Lakes. I'm like, okay, that sounds great, but who's against saving the Great Lakes? There's got to be another side to this story. Like, and then they're like, well, don't you like the Great Lakes? I'm like, I do, but I don't trust you. So I don't want to just sign shit and just like, you know what I mean?
No, right. I do. Yeah.
And so I send these guys packing. I'm like, no, give me some information, which I'm never going to read. That's the problem. But they never come back. So,
but I thought this one was particularly odd to me, that she was just like at that time of the day, for one, and just cold calling people in their car.
See, that can't be somebody who's out and about at that point. She's got to just have that in her purse or her car. And said, I see a lost person, a lost soul
for sure.
This guy certainly has nothing going on in his life. I need to save his ass.
Maybe so. And you know what I was early for? I was early because
nice segue.
It's
well done.
Because I was getting ready to mop the floors as the #1 flop mopper at Satford and Holly.
Wait, flop mower? Are you a flop mower there too?
Sure, I do it all.
Wow.
Satford is much closer than you think, located on I-75 and exit 98, just 10 minutes north of Great Lakes Crossing Mall. Stop in and mention Big E hopes to get laid more in 2016 than 2015 while taking delivery of our newer used car, truck, or SUV. And Zotford will deliver you an autographed Detroit Cast urine t-shirt. Supplies are limited, so check out their massive inventory, breathtaking deals at zotford.com. SZOTT.
Blank, pale, emotionless face and the blackest eyes, the deathless eyes.
I don't know. I don't know if there's an update to this story. This is one of those that I imagine will have a rather swift conclusion.
Yeah, what do we got?
But there was a jailbreak in Southern California over the weekend.
Well, we've seen some of these recently, not so swift conclusions.
Yeah,
one in New York, and then the little chap, of course.
Yeah, well, there's a frantic manhunt, at least at the time of this show today, right now, for these 3 inmates who busted out of this jail. They were last seen 5 a.m. Friday at the Orange County Central Men's Jail in Santa Ana, which is southeast of Los Angeles by about 40 miles. They could have escaped any time between then and late Friday night. This was clearly a well thought out and planned escape that may have been in the works for weeks or months. The inmates cut through a half-inch steel bars and then plumbing tunnels to gain access to the unsecured roof. All 3 men then used sheets to rappel down to the ground and fled on foot. It's pretty ballsy, huh? Look at those characters. It's the first escape from the facility in at least 20 years. They say possibly ever. Wouldn't they know that?
I know. What does that mean?
Like, how do you not know that?
It might have happened 20 years ago, or it may not have.
Yeah. I mean, either it happened in the last 20 years or it didn't. I would think that they would all remember that.
Yeah.
Like, oh, remember that time that dude broke out of here?
Nope.
I once lost a gerbil in the house somewhere, though. I don't know if it got out or if it died in the house.
Thing.
Maybe, well, maybe they lose somebody from the cell. They're just like, he's around here someplace. Or he got out. We don't know.
Yeah. We just haven't come across him yet. That was about 20 years ago, right? Maybe he got out. Maybe he didn't.
Half-inch bars. You got to have a torch, right? I mean, you've got to have some serious.
You couldn't do that with big bolt cutters, could you? Would that get through half-inch steel?
Torch, right?
Anyone?
Torch.
Wow. Where are they going to get a torch?
Yeah.
Where are they going to get bolt cutters? I don't know.
These are all things we'd like to know.
So they gained access to the roof, and then they took off. Well, this guy, one of the guys, Jonathan Tew. Let's see, which one's Jonathan Tew?
How do you spell Tieu?
Tieu.
I'm going to go with far left.
I would have thought the same until I read some of the other names, and now I'm not so sure.
Oh, we've got a Jean Zhang or something. What do we got?
Well, we got John Tieu. He was being held on $1 million bond since 2013, of October 2013, on charges of murder, attempted murder, and then shooting at an inhabited dwelling, so just blasting into a house. So they think that was gang related. Hossein Nayeri. I'm assuming Hussein is in the middle. Yep. I mean, not the profile. He's been held on charges of kidnapping, torture, aggravated mayhem, and burglary. He and 3 other men are accused of kidnapping a California marijuana dispensary owner in 2012. They drove him to the desert, and where they believed he had hidden money. Oh, and then for the fuck of it, they cut his dick off. They cut off his noose, dude.
Oh, Hussein.
Is that Hussein on the left?
Cut off his dick.
You were right.
Yeah, Bak Dong over there on the right.
Yeah, right. But now that you say it, now that you say the name, you go, okay, I see where they got Bak Dong from.
Dude, that son of a bitch on the right is your age, Mike.
Is he really?
That guy's 43 years old. Look at that guy.
Look at it, poops. He's had a rough go of it. Bak Dong has.
Wouldn't you guess he's like 55?
I would have guessed 65. Yeah. He doesn't look good. Dude, what are they guys cutting off other guys' dicks? What's that about? Like, I get it. Some chick gets all whipped up into a frenzy and cuts a dick off and throws it in the garbage disposal.
Honestly, I'm surprised it doesn't happen more, Mike.
Right.
Think about it.
Right? You can see a hell hath no fury, as they say, right?
No, I'm surprised it doesn't happen more dude on dude, because it's the worst thing you could ever do to a dude, right?
Yeah.
I mean, right?
Yeah.
There's nothing worse.
Not
we
that
all
I can
know
think
that.
of.
We all know for sure there's nothing worse. So why
Most
doesn't it happen
important
more?
thing ever.
Why doesn't it happen more?
Maybe it does. It happened here in the desert. You're in the middle of the desert by yourself, and some dude cuts your dick off because they think you buried treasure out there. Come on, man. Bak Dung was being held on the charges of attempted murder, assault with a deadly weapon. Anyway, they're doing everything they can to find these guys. I think that'd be good to find. I think those are the guys you want to find. But anyway.
Who knows? We saw those guys in New York go for several weeks, right?
Yeah. How long were they?
Them, but
horsecock.
Yeah, horsecock.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, they were. I don't know. That one seemed more planned out than this one, though. For some reason, you know what I mean?
Got all
like
the tools into with the hamburger and all that. They had the insider helping them. Well, obviously, most of this stuff you got an insider helping you.
Why would they have an unsecured roof, by the way, at a jail? They make their way to the roof. That seems like something that'd be easy to secure. Throw a couple guys up there with some semi-automatics and let them just hang out. That's your job now. You get $50 an hour to just do that.
These budgets, how they are, righty?
Yeah.
Oh, you know it. When I'm looking, I don't know.
Anyway, remember we were talking about the Oscars and all the problems they're having.
Indeed.
Oh, didn't they form a committee? Or no, they had an emergency meeting of the committee.
First move,
Did they have an emergency meeting since we last talked about it?
I heard that they had an emergency meeting to look in the future.
I heard they changed some rules. Another good move, right?
Yeah, if you can
form a quick committee, have an emergency meeting, change some rules, you're on the path.
What does it say?
I don't know. I don't know how to. I'm not typing fast enough. Start talking.
Anyway, well, it led to Jada Smith and Will saying that they're not attending. And that kind of sparked the whole outrage about it. Chris Rock, people wanted him to boycott it and not go. And then we got the best part of that story, which was Alexis Arquette.
Right.
Remember coming out and saying that Will and his first wife broke up because she walked in on him banging some dude, Benny Medina.
Servicing, I believe, was the
phrase.
phrase.
It was blowing him or something. Now she's come out to say that his former wife has spoken out and saying that's total bullshit, blah blah blah. And Cherie Fletcher's her name. She posted a 4-minute video to Facebook. I haven't seen this yet, but on Thursday, tearing apart Alexis's claims that Will is gay and their marriage ended after she walked in and saw him going down on him. Will going down on Benny. Although
who does Benny famously represent?
I'm not sure. He's a big name though in Hollywood, but that's a hug you and I would never make. You know, like
you're right about that.
You know what I mean? Like I'm not saying anything.
I don't think you've ever placed your hand on my breast,
on your breast or rib cage, and I don't think you've ever done that to me.
No,
and I can't imagine the circumstance where we would do that embrace. You know what I mean?
I'd agree with you.
Well,
my thought is
definitely not this part.
Yeah, the hand on the breast.
Right. Yeah. No.
Yeah, it just doesn't seem like a
no. And then you're right. The head is really close.
Yeah. So my thought, if it's such bullshit, then just sue. You know what I mean? Like if that didn't happen, that's an easy lawsuit. Defamation
you're a celebrity. You got a lot of leeway with celebrity. She could be like, "Oh yeah, no, I heard that from tons of people, and it's a huge rumor."
Yeah, that seemed to go further than that rumor. Yeah, there you go. There's the picture. Oof,
it does. They say that's the most sensual area for a woman's breast, though, right underneath.
Really?
Yeah, that's what they say.
Who's they? Those people again. You want to play some of her video there, Kadog? I haven't seen it. I want to see if she's believable.
Hello, this is Cherie Fletcher, and I just feel compelled to speak out about some things that have been in the media. Alexis Arquette, let's just be clear. I don't know you, and you don't know me. So for you to claim to have firsthand information as to why my marriage didn't work out is completely out of line, and I got to check you. Not only is it out of line, it's absolutely not true. And I'm offended and I'm hurt that someone would be so malicious and just reckless and destructive and use a lie and an untruth to prove a point. I don't know what you were trying to do, recruit out. I don't know. I don't know. That's not my issue. And I'm going to tell you what this is not about. I'm not here to fight Will and Jada's battle. They do not need me to do that. I'm here to set the record straight and let you know what happened in my marriage. And my marriage ended not over any infidelity. I didn't find Will in bed with a man. I didn't find him in bed with a woman. It just didn't happen. And Will was straight in 1992, and he's straight in 2016. So, you know, that just kind of is what it is. However,
she's worried about it hurting the kids, Willow and Jaden and blah, blah, blah.
Did they have kids together?
Yeah, I think they had a kid that's like 23 or something.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Dude, that would suck. What if it's not true, Mike?
Yeah, what if it is, though?
What if it's not? That would blow.
This whole Scientology thing would make a lot more sense, you know? Anyway, but apparently they're still really good friends. Will and his first wife and their kids, and she's really good friends with Jada Pinkett Smith too. It's one of those that they all get along. So it's not terribly shocking that she would come to their defense.
Right.
You know, and let's be honest, there's an interest to her and all of them involved for stories like that not to come out or for people to believe that. I mean, he's a bankable you know, star, and you don't want anything to come out that could shake that. So I don't know.
So all I hear is that basically they had a meeting. They approved a series of major changes in terms of voting and recruitment, also adding 3 new seats to the 51-person board. And it just says all part of a goal to double the number of women and diverse members of the academy by 2020. So I don't know what that starts.
Yeah, it's the 5-year plan.
So I don't know as far as what that means for nominations, but
yeah, it's just the voters are becoming more diverse,
I guess.
Yeah, I guess the problem, well, you know, then take issue with that. Make that the story that there's but it was brought up to us like Will Smith deserved to be nominated and he wasn't because he's black. It's like, wait a minute. Nobody buys that. I don't buy that they went, wow, his performance was so dynamite. We'd love to give it to him, but he's a black guy. So what do we do? I mean, this is a real pickle this puts us in because
it's a conundrum.
He was so good and he deserves this Oscar, but if he just was white, we could hand this out to him.
We want to. We don't even want to give it to this.
Damn it. Why couldn't Will Smith be white? This would be so easy. I just don't believe that. But the problem now is that, there's like 6,000 members in the voting membership of the Academy. And the average age is like 65 plus, like white guy. It's like as white gets. And we all know the kind of guy that would be involved in that. It's like 93% white, old white guy. And so, well, then make that your argument. Don't make it about Will Smith's shit performance in Concussion. I'd be on board with you the other way.
Sounds like the committee's doing its job, Mike.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. So they've opened up 3 new chairs out of 6,000.
I don't know. No, it's 3 new seats to the 51-person board.
Oh, there's an actual 51-person board. Okay.
So now there'll be 54, and I guess those people will be black and something.
They have to be black.
Right, I guess.
Okay. All right. Special rules. All right, here we go.
Separate but equal.
Go Blacks!
Separate but equal. All at equal footing here. Just going to separate the races.
But equal.
This portion of the Detroit Cast is brought to you by Twin Peaks. Why spend time sitting in traffic going to the game when you could spend the afternoon watching the game in the ultimate sports lodge, Twin Peaks? At Twin Peaks, you won't find the standard menu of frozen foods that go out of a bag and into a fryer. You'll find the best kitchen in sports that's making everything from scratch right down to their ranch. Catch every big game at your local Twin Peaks. Good food, cold beer, big screens.
Do you see these kids that are in trouble at this Arizona high school? For it's in Phoenix. School district is taking disciplinary action after a photo of students spelling out a racial slur on their T-shirt showed up online. Did you see this?
I saw this.
What
the fuck?
Oh,
boy.
Jesus Christ. That
The
scared
poos
the
is
dog
here.
shit
The
out of me.
poos.
Jesus.
Ah, poos.
Christ.
Look at that poos.
Naked poops. Naked poops. No collar on the poops.
God, now I gotta pick everything up.
Yeah.
Your stuff.
Hi.
All important business documents. Get them off the floor.
I got to ride over. I can't drive for shit. I'm assuming Beth drove her over here. I'm assuming she didn't jog her way here. Settle down.
Poos.
She doesn't have a collar on, so she doesn't rattle. Beth takes it off.
Oh, wow.
Poos. Look at that happy poops.
You were saying?
Yeah. These kids, there they are. There you go.
Dude, I'm going to let you read this, but I think the argument is ridiculous.
I don't know that I heard an argument. Okay, there they are.
That is what are they doing?
Well,
I'll tell you what the argument I heard when you explain it.
Here's what they did. This is Tempe Union High School, and their district spokeswoman, Jill Hank, said 6 girls will be punished. I think they got 5 or 6 day suspensions for this.
So they're all standing there with individual letters on their T-shirts.
Yeah. So the students were wearing shirts to spell out best asterisk you've asterisk ever seen class of 2016. So that's what these kids were all wearing, shirts that gave those individual letters. And then they realized, oh, wow, look what else we could spell. And so then a few of them, a handful of them, thought it'd be cute to spell out NI asterisk asterisk ER.
Hilarious.
Yeah. So they did this on their own to come up with this racial. So you can tell they're all laughing their asses off. Officials are absolutely outraged and disappointed, and the students' actions do not represent the student body. We want everyone to know that the whole student body doesn't feel this way. Civil Rights Act. This is my problem with this too. Is as soon as you do something like this, it just lights a fire under all the civil rights activists in the neighborhood. They're all gonna take this and run with a story like this. So what's probably just a bunch of dumbass high school students doing what dumbass high school students do, it turns into something much bigger. So this Reverend Jarrett Maupin says he and other activists plan to meet on Monday with the superintendent. The racist images and discriminatory behavior created and exhibited by students is shocking, outrageous, and should be given everyone cause for concern.
It is shockingly ignorant, honestly.
Yeah, of course it is. Stupid, if you will. But what argument?
Never mind. That's what I was going to say. Some people are like, I heard literally that someone said, well, what people don't understand is that this came from a larger picture, which you were referring to. But like, it's not like they were in the large image and then they zoomed it in and said, look at how these letters were next to each other. It's like, no, they posed.
You know what I'm more troubled by? Third girl in with the mom jeans.
Yeah.
What's up with that? She's in high school.
It's popular now, Jay.
Despite mom jeans are popular.
Yeah,
dude, they're over her belly button. Are you kidding me?
That's popular.
God damn it! Really?
Despite the fact that most people can't wear them. good enough in my opinion. But
is there any chance? I'm just throwing this out there, but is there any chance at all that these girls just happen to be best friends and pose for a picture, not realizing, and they just happen to stand in
better chance of
an unfortunate
flipping
order
heads 28 times in a row?
but it is a possibility. It's a 1 in a billion long shot, but is there any possibility they just happen to line up and
they're turds?
I think there's no possibility.
That's so stupid.
I think they got 5 days suspension.
Deserve it.
Yeah.
Deserve to be publicly embarrassed.
Ooh. You think?
Yeah.
Civil rights leaders are taking it to them.
Go get them, civil rights leaders.
Anyway. So, yeah, that happened too. Anyway, what do we got for emails?
We do have some
Anything
email,
good?
Mike. We do. Before we get to that, I'd be remiss if I didn't mention the Amazon link, Mike.
Oh,
haven't mentioned it in a while. It's important to us. DetroitCast.com. There you will find an Amazon link. All you have to do is click on it. Sends you to Amazon, and you shop as you normally do. We get a bit of a kickback, so it's a great way to support the show. Great way to donate to the show. So just shop as you will through our Amazon link. Jerry writes in. This is wood burning Jerry.
Ah, yes.
There's an interesting coincidence here that Jerry wants to point out. Well, fellas, it seems you had a good time with our old family friend, John Mellish. He used to be my neighbor and is a hell of a guy.
What?
No way.
Flipping weird.
You know what?
Is
though?
that?
They were both up in New Brunswick.
I wonder if Jerry talks like that. It's about to come out.
Probably.
It's about to come out.
Yeah. I mean,
What are
we've
you
never
talking
spoken with Jerry. We've emailed and exchanged Facebook messages, but we've never pronounced words like about, come out.
Yeah, I don't know.
Probably. He probably does.
He says he's a hell of a guy, and his wife is really hot. When I was a kid, his German wife was my first boner. Wow.
Really? Wait a minute. I saw a photo of her, and I didn't think she was all that.
Well, maybe this was a few years ago.
They have a great sense of humor and love to have a good time. He is an ex-military guy and was my inspiration to joining the service when I was a young fella. It's really weird to hear you guys talking to him, as I haven't seen him in about 10 years. Anyway, just wanted to let you know that you made my day by calling him. Later, effers, Jerry. That's a weird coincidence.
Yeah, it sure is. Good for him.
Ryan writes
We need
in.
to call him back, by the way. See how that's going.
Yeah.
Hear what the big announcement was?
Yeah, from the what was it? CBC that showed up at his house.
Yeah, the exclusive he was given to the CBC.
Mhm.
Ryan writes in, thought I'd weigh in. Back in 2012, I saw Palin on a layover in an airport in Austin. I couldn't place who she was, but people were asking for autographs, and I overheard it was Palin. She's definitely well put together, very attractive. Not sure her age. Didn't we conclude she's 51? I think it was 51, 52.
Yeah, it was
She's
51,
a rare
I think.
female breed that seems to have gotten hotter in her 40s than 20s. My friend's mom also falls in that category. We remind him often. He hates it, Ryan. Sort of like Larry's mom, right?
Yeah, but she was hot. Well, she
was probably in her late 30s, right?
Yeah.
Late
She's
30s to
definitely
early
hot.
40s.
That's tough.
Yeah.
By the way, someone else pointed out.
Oh, yeah.
What was that? It was Glenn Rice, not Glenn Robinson. Did you say Glenn Robinson?
I never said
Rice?
I never said a name. You said something and I thought you were right, but
No, you said it first.
no way. No way.
I
Because I would
pointed out
never
Glenn
have-
Rice. And then we talked about it on the show the next day. You might have said Robinson. I don't know.
I never
It's
said a
definitely Glenn
specific
Rice.
name.
Someone pointed it out. I don't know if it was on the message board or
But I know we
on
were-
Twitter
yeah, I
or
saw
something. But
By the way, a string on the message board I think has some legs. It's getting E into this house, live in this house. There's money being thrown around, Mike.
dude, I don't care if you threw tens of thousands of dollars, even 6 figures at it. I'm not having him in my house.
6 figures. That seems a little outrageous.
Dude, for a month, to have you here for a month, forget it. Nope.
How much would it take?
You don't have enough. Like,
Mike,
dude, I'd kill him.
serious now.
I'd kill him.
Whatever.
Seriously. He'd leave doors open. The animals would get out.
He'd live right in there. No
he
problem.
spills everything. He's loud. He's obnoxious. Like having him here 2 hours a day, you want to shoot him. No offense.
It's fine.
See,
look at this. God.
Important business document. You saw it. You witnessed it.
Look at that, Poops. Oh, come here. Come over here. Come here.
That friggin' poos.
Yeah.
So what do we do about this, Mike? What's the number? What's the number?
There is no number.
What do you mean there's no number? There's a number for
Dude,
everything.
I'm not letting E move. Let's let him move into your house.
I have a number for that.
What is it?
I don't know.
But that's not as the situation doesn't place itself as well. This is where the studio is. That's why it would be funny. It wouldn't really be funny.
No, you guys could carpool in. It'd
There's
be
a
great.
number, Mike. There's a number. What's the number?
Honestly, I don't have the number. I've thought about it, and there's no way. There's no way I could live with him. No offense.
$5,000.
No, absolutely not.
10.
No.
You're full of shit.
Seriously, I wouldn't take 10 grand to have E live here.
Eric writes in, hey guys, just passing along this bit of info regarding Lions players and tipping. Remember we were on that whole thing where we misnamed Calvin Johnson as the guy who failed to tip the
we
pizza
do that
guys.
a lot. I don't know why anyone listens to us.
And it was who was it again? Roy Williams?
I guess. Yeah,
Sure.
I think that's what the
I worked as a doorman at a downtown hotel, says Eric, for a number of years and dealt with the Lions on a regular basis. Every time I dealt with Calvin, no matter how big or small the task was, he would tip $20 minimum. He was always one of the nicest guys and a hell of a tipper. Stafford would tip sporadically, ranging anywhere from. He says staffers. He has to mean
Stafford. Yeah,
would tip sporadically, ranging anywhere from $3 to $5, if at all. By far the worst.
Stafford?
Yeah.
Nah, I don't buy that.
By far the worst Lion to deal with was Sue. He was never
not
nice.
Not a shock.
In fact,
Yeah,
I would
Sue's
go
an
as
asshole.
far as to say that he was mostly a dick. Furthermore, he would never tip in spite of pulling up in a Range Rover, Bentleys, and even a Rolls Royce for a number of weeks. The guy was a complete scumbag, and if anyone needs to be called out, it's him. Anyway, just wanted to pass along that bit of information.
Do you believe that about a starting quarterback in the NFL would be that clue? I just don't buy that.
Yeah, I
I suppose anything's possible, but
But you know, Sue is possibly one of the best players at his position, and
I know, but NFL quarterback is so recognizable.
You know, Bone Job writes in. I haven't read one of Bone Job's emails in a while. I'm going to read this one, and even though I take umbrage with it. He says, Jay, 16 Candles is absolutely a chick flick, and a shitty one at that. Hint one is hint one is that Molly Ringwald is in it. Hint two is it's called 16 Candles. Hate to bash you, but you're wrong on this one. You're wrong, Boner. It's not a chick flick. Yes, Molly Ringwald's in it. It's definitely one you got to see, Mike.
Did you guys see 16 Candles?
How can you guys not have seen it? Canadian or something?
Nobody in the room seen 16 Candles, but you. I just know it's a Molly Ringwald, John Hughes movie.
Dude. Breakfast Club, is that a good movie?
Yeah, Breakfast Club was pretty good.
Molly Ringwald, John Hughes movie. Just saying.
I know, but it was sold as like 16 Candles was sold as like a chick flick, I thought. So I just never watched it.
See it. Also, Bone Job says about 6 years ago, Pearl Jam came to the Palace and a buddy and I went. I don't remember who opened, but we downed a few beers during the opener. Shortly after Pearl Jam got on stage, we ran down to grab one more beer to enjoy during their show. Every vendor we tried to buy from said beer and liquor sales had been stopped by the request of the band. No reason why, but we were cut off. Meanwhile, we watched Vedder down 4 bottles of wine during the performance. We simply solved our problem by inviting ourselves into a suite and enjoying free beer, but still a dick move by the band. With love, Bone Job.
Yeah, that happens quite a bit.
But why does I get it when I don't get it at all? But like when what Aerosmith did or something because they stopped drinking.
Yeah,
but
Neil Young's done that before.
But if he drinks on stage, he won't let you drink.
Yeah, he brings a bottle of wine. I didn't
Yeah.
know he had 4 bottles, but every time I've seen him, well, the last few times I've seen them, he's brought a bottle of wine and drank it through the whole show.
By the way, Kim, thank you for writing in and settling my Nancy Grace and Jake's girlfriend hair issue.
Dude.
Back to 16 Candles.
I owe you an apology
Yeah,
for
you
that
do on
because
that one.
Honestly, I didn't.
I believe when Nancy Grace went to her hairdresser, she said, "Make my hair look like the girl from 16 Candles."
Yeah, it is so spot on in that picture, anyways, that it's like, wow, that's incredible. It does make you wonder if she didn't go in and go, I want to look like the girl from 16 Candles for real.
What the hell was that, Poos?
Yeah, Poos. Settle
Poos
down,
is moaning. Poos is moaning. Is she in heat?
Is the door closed?
Yeah.
She's in heat. Take care of her.
So she's hearing something going on upstairs and she wants to be involved.
Noel writes in, hey guys, the pressure to come up with clever names for all of you is just too much today. I just wanted to let Big E know, per the discussion on episode 507, that you can absolutely buy tickets for St. Andrews before any show. This is my big secret that I'm letting go for the DCast dudes and listeners. I believe it is from noon to 5. You can go right to the door and ring the service bell. Someone will let you in, and they can print the tickets right then and there.
Shit.
You skip the ever-growing service charge and don't have to worry about waiting for the mail or email. Once in a great while, they won't answer, so you have to go back, but that has only happened to me once. I usually walk over on my lunch break as I work downtown. This also works at the Fillmore, but that is a bit more obvious because the ticket booth is right in the front door with a dude or lady sitting inside. The Ticketmaster monopoly is over now, but yeah, Live Nation is just as bad. StubHub rules, but it allows people to way overcharge for in-demand tickets. They should have some kind of price range limit set for selling tickets on StubHub, or maybe they do already. Hope this saves you $8.50 in the future. Goodbye, BUI. Literally, see what I did there? Says Noel.
That's awesome. I didn't know. I always thought with St. Andrews that they just did not have an open. That's great. I will take advantage of that next time. But StubHub is awesome, but I disagree that there should be a price limit.
I've got hit with horrible service charges on StubHub too.
Yeah, they charge you a fee too.
I mean, I got hit with $200 in service charges for a Motley Crue show. Yeah,
on one ticket,
on 2 tickets. They were like 100 or 150
tickets.
Yes,
on StubHub.
Yes, dude.
I don't know. I've never had an issue with that at StubHub. I mean, they do. There is a charge, of course.
It was absolutely StubHub. I don't know who else it would have been that I used.
All right, well, I'll have to just believe you. But I mean, of course, StubHub. See, StubHub to me is okay to have a surcharge because it's a system that's selling. It's doing you a service. It's letting somebody else sell their tickets.
Yeah.
So of course it has a service charge. That's one thing, but the Ticketmaster one's outrageous.
Maybe it was $150 for the 2 tickets, $75 each.
Maybe, but that seems crazy. But whatever.
Yeah.
But I've always loved StubHub. I use it all the time, and I think it's great.
Conversation's boring me. Go back to the 16 candles here. Kadog, you're way off. That's not even the girl we're talking about. My God, man.
Pulled up Molly Ringwald.
Hey, we'll save the rest for tomorrow, Mike. But in the meantime, please, everybody, follow us on Twitter at Big E DetroitCast, at J DetroitCast, at Walters Radio. Check us out on Instagram. Share us on Facebook. You know the deal.
Yeah. All right, we'll call it a day there. Thanks, everybody, for coming by and all the support. It's awesome. You know, you're going to get to enjoy K-Dog's cute video that he posts every time he's here. So thank you, guys, and we'll see you in a few days anyways at the it sounds like at Twin Peaks. Hopefully we see a lot of you guys out there. With that, we'll call it a day. We'll see you guys tomorrow for an all-new edition.
You've been listening to the Detroit Cast with your hosts, Mike and Jay. From all of us at Radio for One Studios, thank you for listening. And as always, thank you, Detroit. Listen to God, watch you grow.